All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, TGIF, Miss Jalen. Good morning. TGIF. Okay. Thank God it's Friday. Right. Thank God. So I wanted to come through to. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Jalen, for being a member for 3 months. You are greatly appreciated. Thank you for supporting the content. Jesus, sorry. No decorum whatsoever. Just yelling in the background, talking about feed the damn cat. Sorry, y'all. Good morning. I hope you guys are having a good, sunshiny day so far, okay? It's 7:01 a.m. on the East Coast. I'm awake. I want to finish the body cam videos that I had. The first one we're going to start with is the case of Brandon Durham. If you guys have not been living under a rock, you guys know that Brandon Durham was deleted by, yeah, JJ does need to eat, and he's going to eat, you know? He's good. He's been chilling. He's been eating a whole bunch. He just got his surgery, so what do you call it? He just got his surgery, so he's kind of confined to one room, and unfortunately, he hates that. So because he hates that, he's very he puts a lot of pressure on us for meals and things, reasons to come and play with him. So it's fine. I'm gonna feed him in a minute, but I just wanted to get started in the morning, nice and early. It's 7 o'clock, so I know a lot of you guys are like, "Oh, it's live. Like, what is she doing right now? Like, why is she awake?" I'm awake because the early bird gets the worm. Okay, the early bird gets the worm. So I have the first video about Brandon Durham, like I mentioned. If you haven't been living under a rock, I understand if you haven't, but if you haven't, then you guys know that Brandon Durham was recently deleted by the police. Um, his case is a tragic case, not only because he was actually the victim in the case, but he's the one who called the police. He had a prior issue with the person who he had to call the police on the day that he was deleted. And so it just kind of seems like, in general, the police system didn't really do him much help. And so let's look at the body cam footage. I believe this came out recently. I don't know how recent the case is, but I know this is not an old video from them. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Hold on, y'all. Oh, did I put the wrong? Well, you know what? This is fine. This one's only a minute or so, but we're going to talk about this case because, in general, there's a history of men calling the police and ending up being, or not just men, but certain people calling the police, and even though they're the ones seeking the help, they end up being deleted. Good morning, Bridget Renee. I hope you have a good morning so far. Yeah, Sandra Massey is a good example of that one. It's also a good example of police officers who have no secondary skills that would make them a good police officer. Like, you can't just be trained to be a cop, honestly, unfortunately, in the field. You have to have some social work skills. You have to have some soft skills, some soft people skills, because you can't just be blunt and aggressive with everyone. So anyways, I'm going to play this footage for you guys, and we're going to talk about it. Again, Brandon Durham was a homeowner. He had been having issues with said girl. I'm gonna make sure I pull up the body cam because I know there's one, but they talk about and I didn't put it in the link, but there's body cam footage of the day prior where he calls the police. He calls the police because this woman is being super aggressive in his house. She doesn't want to leave. And she's just causing a problem in general. So the police have to come out for that. So when we think about the context of the footage where he was deleted, it almost doesn't make sense, right? That they were there the night before. It was for this woman who was obviously making his house unsafe at that time. and she leaves with her life. The next day he calls the police because of what, she's back again, and he loses his life. It's a pretty tragic story. So I want to pull up what I want to pull up the day before, but I'm just gonna do the short one for now because I can't find the link to the other one. But he called the police the day before, so we're gonna look at this footage here, and then I'll look for the other video while it's playing.
News Metro Police releasing a new batch of body cam videos just minutes ago. These body cam videos show the 24 hours before the deadly police shooting of a local homeowner who called 911 for help. The 3 recordings show Metro Police Officer Alexander Bookman, 2 other officers responding to Brandon Durham's home the night before the shooting on November the 10th. Durham was not home at the time, but he did dial 911 at around 11:30. He said his ex-friend, later identified by police as Alexandra Boudreau, would not leave his house. So this is the interaction when police showed up to kick her out of the house.
He's my ex-friend, but I'm waiting for him to get back. I fell asleep. He left me. I'm trying to, oh, now you show up? Okay, so now you're here.
Okay. Ma'am, can you continue with your story?
I'm not worried about it.
So,
I live in peace.
you
drugs
leaving?
are all over here.
Okay. Well, we'll just hang out while you grab your stuff. You're gonna head out.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna leave this play.
To make out some of that, but they said we're going to hang out here until you get the stuff out of the house. Police say Boudreau returned the next night. That's the person there you see in the red hoodie, and broke into Durham's home, prompting him to call 911 for help, all leading to Officer Bookman shooting and killing Durham, the homeowner, while he was struggling with Boudreau over a knife. We will continue to look through these videos that just made their way into the newsroom and bring you new details on later editions of News 3.
Ooh, I'm muted. So that was just the little piece of footage that they wanted to show for a minute. I have here, this is what I wanted to show. Because I found this video yesterday. It's a full body cam footage that shows everything that went on with Brandon Durham and just literally everything that has to do with this case in terms of his interaction with the police. All right, so I'm gonna play this video. And we're going to sort of look at it because these body cam footage, like I was mentioning, they're really good for transparency, right? It's easy for us to say, well, the police were doing this, that, and the third. But what we're finding out from the body cam footage is that we get a whole new context, right? We get to see the situation sort of from like a video game perspective. Like if you were the person there, that's what the body cam feels like. It feels like you're the person, you're getting in the interaction. You get to see what this person had to deal with throughout their interaction. And so I found the body cam footage to be very insightful. And if you guys know anything about this case, obviously it's a fairly recent case. And the police are still trying to work out exactly what happened and why the person who called the police ended up being the one who lost their life to the police. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, can y'all hear anything? I don't know if he has the volume on. Maybe not. I've heard sometimes they mute these, but you see, we don't hear anything. So I don't know if it's just the tab. Hold on. Oh, maybe he was muted. Oh, yeah, he was muted.
How you doing, officer? Hey, did you call us?
I didn't call you.
Oh, you didn't call?
Nope.
Oh, really?
I'm just coming back from having dinner. That's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the one that called.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no? All right.
No.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Yeah, this was released. Y'all can see this was released 2 days ago. All right, so it talks about an interaction between Brandon Durham and the police, who would go on to fatally shoot him just over 24 hours later. So we get to see some context into the first time the police ran into Mr. Durham and sort of what happened, right? Because I think obviously the police have their narrative, the people, his family, things like that, they have their narrative, and then there's the truth. And again, it always lies somewhere. I think it always lies somewhere in the middle. But let's what the heck was that? A dust bunny. I don't know where that came from. All right, so let's continue. And the truth, again, the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
So they're in the house? Yeah, like if my man came right there, it's like I'd ask him a couple times. Brandon, look at this. Friend was in a bad spot. That kid at another house. How long was he? One day. And I think they were gonna leave today, and then they were like, "I'm not leaving. Make me leave," and stuff like that. I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna fight up there." Okay, that's what you I'll talk to him. I'm gonna go sit right in there. I'm like, all right, it'd be nice. Give me one day and move to the
765 Central,
you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be bullied and stay here. Hell no.
How much stuff is
The luggage is that two luggages that both take to the airport.
So they're supposed to leave for the airport?
Yeah.
Okay. And so they're just supposed to be in here for a night?
If that.
Okay.
I'm being nice.
How many people is it?
One.
Oh, shit.
Can you come here? Put our head on a stolen
They were
vehicle?
a bad spot. They were nice before, you know what I'm saying? When someone kind of comes
You
in
don't
with
stay on
bags, saying I need help, you kind of go, okay, let's take
Maybe
it, man, we'll figure it out.
one at
Okay,
Traverse
leave.
Lane Eastern, going eastbound break.
And it's like, you're employing me to stay here?
You're the only one that lives here?
95 Henry
You and your
90.
daughter? Okay. How old's your daughter?
15.
Entering 95 Henry
Is your
90.
daughter home now?
Yeah, it's in their bedroom.
Okay, but
I don't
you're...
want to get into like a screaming match. I don't want to get into an argument. I'm just going to backstab a bit.
It's your friend, right?
Yeah, right now, we should say, but not anymore.
Oh, where's she at?
Right there, behind those doors.
Oh, just in the living room or whatever?
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, cool if I go talk to him.
Wait, exactly.
Okay.
I definitely see why he's concerned too, because he just mentioned like I'm there with my 15-year-old daughter. We used to be friends. We're not friends anymore. Listen, you go to somebody's house, they want you out, leave. If they want you out, leave. There's no reason to overstay your welcome anywhere's place. I know you must be thinking, where am I supposed to go? I don't got money. That you should have thought about that before the interaction. But I feel like if somebody wants you gone, leave. Why are you gonna stay in somebody's home with their kid, where their kid is at, and make them uncomfortable? You know, like that wasn't, she's not a small girl. I'm not trying to be rude or make this about weight or anything like that, but that's not a small girl. To be in his house, not wanting to act right while he got a child there, like, I would want you gone too. I'm sorry. I would want you gone. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police too. Like, leave when you're asked to. You shouldn't overstay your welcome in anybody else's house. People have the right to be safe in their own homes. Why are you in somebody's house wilding out, starting trouble, and you know they got a kid there? You know, that's my issue. That's my issue with this.
That's a firm.
What is that?
The one day letting that's the thing.
Metro Police.
Almost actually a month ago.
And it's returning straight. Hold on.
Metro Police. Do you have the key?
Mm-hmm. My phone.
Oh, your thumb opens it?
All right, you want to up and do it real quick?
Sure. Me? You go this way.
Okay. Okay. How's it going?
Hi.
Why didn't you answer when we knocked?
Because what? Huh?
I was
I'm not supposed to answer the door.
okay. What's going on?
I'm waiting for him to get Mama. He's my ex-friend, but I'm waiting for him to get back. I fell asleep. He left me. I'm trying to oh, now you show up? Okay, so now you're here.
Okay.
It's all that.
so-
You didn't answer the phone.
Man, can you
Hey,
just
I'm
continue
not worried about
with
it.
your story?
I'm not worried about it.
So
I'll leave in peace. Oh,
you
drugs
leave?
are all over here.
okay. Well, we'll just hang out while you grab your stuff if you're gonna head out.
Just go back. Yeah.
I hope you have fun. I hope
My dog here.
I hope you still ever get tested. You know you're nasty. That's a CDC biohazard right there.
All right.
That's something you're gonna have to take up with them. I don't deal with that, so.
I'm just
Right
saying,
now,
if you guys like, if you
right.
guys like your, your little
Right now, all I'm doing is asking you to leave, okay?
wear condoms. Those are nasty. So happy. Does anybody feel like giving me an Uber, sir? That's where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, we don't do that.
You want to order me an Uber?
What was that?
You want to order me an Uber?
We don't do that.
You want to do it out of courtesy of your heart?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Do you have a jacket?
I'm confused. Like, did she think that this wasn't the best time to pause? Did she think the police were gonna order an Uber for her? Like, she's trying to be so smooth over here. Obviously, this lady is not used to people saying no to her. I think the entitlement that we're seeing these days is very unfortunate. Ms. Jones says she's drunk. I think she's definitely under the influence of something. I definitely agree with that, especially because you could tell she's just like, why are you asking the cops to call you an Uber? They're not going to call you an Uber. If a cop decides to do that, lucky you. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to call you an Uber. Especially you're trespassing in somebody's house, to the point they have to call the police. They're not going to call you an Uber, honey. You need to figure out how to get yourself where you need to go.
Here's my video from ALPR, Lincoln 4 in Truck Student Eastern Creek.
Just
Yeah,
get
they're
a
finished
jacket
at
and then grab yourself.
eastbound at Raymond A. Launch Road to 95 Henry, 93, to 53, stolen, south has been advised. Tommy, what was year again? 2016.
Good morning, John. The WTF is going on. This is the 24 hours prior to Brandon.
I'm gonna remember.
This is the 24 hours prior to Brandon Durham being arrested. Sorry, not arrested. Deleted by the police. He was a homeowner who called the police when he was going through it with this particular woman. He called police for a second day in a row, and when they showed up to his house, he was the one who was fired on. So we're looking at the 24 hours prior to get some context on what these police were thinking when they came to his house the next day.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, do you have all your stuff put together? Because if you wouldn't mind to start bringing your stuff outside, we can maybe wait for the Uber outside, because I think he wants you out of here ASAP.
So would you like have free fest like every day with people and your 15-year-old daughter was home every day and she got to expose her to that? No?
I don't know.
I'm not messy, but I want to be messy. And I'm bitter and I'm jealous as fuck right now. And that's why, like, yeah. You don't have to do that. Like, I would know.
Why is the screen being like this? I'm trying to pause and it's clicking all types of buttons. I don't know what she's saying, but I'm going to say this. She's literally delaying her leaving. Now she's trying to insinuate something about his 15-year-old daughter. I don't know what she just said. I couldn't hear her well. But this lady is not small. This is not a little lady in his house, you know? The police sometimes, I think they just assume, oh, it's a woman, like there's nothing to be. This is not a small person. And we saw him. He's not that much bigger than her.
And it's like any other girl, everything will be broken. Everything. Can you grab my cigar?
I mean, it's unfortunate because you can obviously tell she doesn't have anywhere to go. Talmud is the way it says she's a witch and this was the perfect setup. You know, it's kind of sad though. Like, you can tell she don't have nowhere to go. Why are you acting up in this dude's house to the point he's calling the police? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know sometimes guys just be tripping, but he's not about to put you out knowing you have nowhere to go unless you're stirring up some trouble. You're mentioning his 15-year-old child. Like, I don't know. I don't know if she's a witch, but
PD 21, confirming if they're out on the 407C with 22 and 186. Copy, thank you.
Is that everything?
You know, it was leaving, it was kind of stupid thing. And you know what is funny? She saw the ticket and she told me she was leaving and was like, would I rather be on the street for a whole day and I could just not be like this?
So, I know due to winters and all these
She almost like water type shit.
yes. So, we got her out this time. Sometimes it's one of those things that
Watch Air 5.
That's not okay. So you invited her in. Let her stay. She decided to stop her and stay.
Is there any news on Central?
Yeah. You know, so it's like good thing whatever. Appreciate that. Future reference.
So can you advise if it's a 411A Hyundai had a sunroof?
Yeah.
There's nothing in this.
No, that's it.
Picture attached, right?
It is good.
There are multiple previous. Let me scan through those.
You got it. Maybe did it all P4 is good.
One that was another vehicle last night, multiple times.
So you're grabbing that Uber?
Yeah.
Oh, stand by, I'm checking.
You what?
I broke my phone.
Okay. Is the Uber on the way?
I have certain
Okay.
everything.
I don't see anything referenced as sunroof, and this isn't the one that had the double.
keep in mind everything's calm and copacetic now. But before she left the apartment, when she was in there, she's like, "You don't even know what other girls would do, right? What other girls would do in this situation." So she was obviously alluding that she wanted to go buck wild, but obviously the police are there. She's not in a situation where she can just do whatever she wants. They'll grab her and knock her out or grab her and put her in cuffs. So she knows, But she mentioned before she left, before she walked out of the apartment, gravity thing, she said, "You don't even know what other girls would do in this situation."
Yeah, and this is just a single vehicle, and the last scan was from November 5th at 17:40 hours.
Make sure you have that appreciate it. I know it's early. Hit that link button for me. I was up, so I said, "You know what? Let me do it."
Was that hers?
Yeah. It looks like
She said that these, or he said that these are yours too?
oh yeah.
Definitely thought I parked two down, but had a little hike to get here,
Yeah. Did the cardio in for the day. Well, I thought that car that pulled over with its hazards on was a PR because they said they're waiting in a blue SUV. And it looked literally exactly like that.
previous at the
I didn't even see that they were waiting on the bush.
Negative previous.
Yeah, well then right as we pulled on the street, it turned its hazards on and pulled over, so I thought he was trying to flag us down.
So she's very calm. Like, she's not starting nothing.
South fucked up on that question.
Did he?
Yeah. I don't know what he did.
On what thing?
People act very differently. It's like,
There's like a knot.
A little tweak.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some intense defensive tactics.
Bro, when he slapped me, I was like,
193, control check to force.
That was intense. For sure.
Check copy. One arm working, control check to force. Acknowledge.
Control to the TV. It's on track to Santos to be negative.
I copy.
you get that order?
So they're waiting for her to order Uber. She's obviously, so like, one thing I'll say as we're like 50 to 60% through the footage is that she doesn't appear to be combative or aggressive, right? But that doesn't mean that she won't become combative or aggressive. This is the 24 hours prior to Brandon Durham calling the police. He obviously called the police this day to get this woman out of his house. There was some type of nasty interaction, I guess, and they decided they're not friends anymore. He was calling it friends. And when she talked to the police a couple minutes ago in this video, kind of slow, I know, but a couple minutes in this video, she said, "You don't know what most girls would do." Right? So he's already called the police before. I don't understand how you know all of this. Maybe they went there thinking she wasn't a threat. Like, here's my thought. Maybe they're thinking, "No, this dude is just calling the police on this girl because he don't want her there anymore. She was calm the day before. What could possibly go wrong?" Right? That's what I'm getting as we're about 50 to 60% through, maybe a little bit more through this footage. There's about 10 minutes left. She doesn't appear to be threatening. Outside of what she said, she doesn't appear to be threatening. So I can understand why they would maybe assume. I think assuming makes an ass out of you that you're not supposed to assume. You could just leave the possibilities open because people will surprise you. But I do think they might have assumed she was the same calm, collected, got her stuff, and left type of person. But let's see.
You got the Uber order, though?
They're waiting for her to order an Uber.
Okay, because that's more important.
No, actually, no.
Okay, that's more important than a plane ticket or anything else right now. So let's do that because he wants you trespass from here. So.
Control for 5 ATLs. We didn't see it on my description.
It's the driver detail.
Canceling
this one.
Okay, so it's ordered though.
I canceled it because of 7 minutes.
Oh well, that's fine. Just get it ordered. I'll wait here for 7 minutes. It's just it has to be ordered.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the time. I just need it to be actually, like, I need to know what time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She's playing games, obviously. She's calm, you know. That's the scary thing about some of these aggressive people is that they know how to keep their temper. They know how to keep their temper.
Aircraft. We're going to switch over to northeast. Aircraft, copy.
Good morning, Empress. Jill said there's an issue. Look how she was laying down well, yeah, she all but insinuated that she was the man's girlfriend because she said, "You don't know what other girls would do." Right? But he sold the situation as a friend, but we're not friends anymore. So obviously there was an issue. I want to know what it was, but I don't think we ever will know like the full truth. But there was obviously an issue. Now there's 10 minutes left in this video. So far, outside of her saying you don't know what other girls would do, she hasn't really been threatening. I'm trying to put full screen.
Where's Sarge at? Was he doing something?
Said he had to do a bunch of admin shit.
Makes sense.
North 3 Life Care Center, 2325 East Durham, Unit 313.
It's at the center. Why do we have to go?
We shouldn't have to.
Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button.
That's an on-call. Is it like a hospice?
Usually they say, I'll call FD to confirm.
If it's hospice, we don't have to, but if it's regular, we do.
I will say, dude, doing that, I know same shit for.
Honestly, we're being real, right? Since we heard her say, you know, you don't know what most girls would do. Let's assume this is a domestic dispute, right? Let's be real. We're gonna be 100% real here. She basically said, you don't know what most girls would do, insinuating they're in a relationship. He says they're just friends, but they're not friends anymore, indicating some end to that. Right? This is essentially this is a domestic dispute. This is probably the quietest domestic dispute that these police officers have ever been to. She's not saying a damn thing. She's literally just standing there, ordering her Uber. She didn't protest leaving the house. She's standing outside with all her belongings, or at least what appears to be all her belongings. She's not saying nothing. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume that these police officers didn't think that this woman was a threat in any way, shape, or form.
Use my touch, but lost a little bit of my touch of like regular patrol shit.
I can see that.
Yeah.
135 copy.
You getting back into the groove though?
Oh yeah. A couple calls. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like riding a bike. You pick it right back up.
Are you from Native?
Huh?
What was that? Am I what?
Native American.
That's crazy because I am, and you didn't even ask me. That's wild. I'm like 50% too. That's
Are you
crazy.
sure?
Yeah,
Are you really sure?
I'm positive.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's not 50%. It's not 50%. It's like 40 bucks.
FD doesn't have in their notes, but it was a
I
hospital.
guess I look more native than you.
That's crazy, dog.
Why do you ask? Why do you ask?
The cops are
Just asking.
Really?
Is it just everybody thinks they know who they are. It's like a hobby. Because like you're not as much.
Really?
I feel weird telling it to you guys, but
No, that's alright.
it's like everybody, this God isn't good. There's just that.
I would say that have you had a drink tonight?
It's just this one.
Okay.
I just woke up about
I mean, I don't care.
Okay, but what I was going to say was, you're nervous because my people are Native American and Africans. So, and people are always trying to say they're Native American and they're African American. Or that they, it's always some sort of like spots, like the Destiny Star, the Native Americans, they took it from the natives and made the blacks build it. And, from those, those natives and those blacks that are building our borders.
What's this lady talking about?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people here, they think that they're houses and land and so much real estate, but with all of those choices of people who left America, it was dirt, the ground here, the entire land, ground. Our legislative priority, if it's not connected to the sacred land, it resets.
you, Maryland, right now.
This is probably the most anticlimactic
Master Kim?
body cam footage. This is why I went out on the limb and I said they probably didn't think nothing of this lady. Now, I will say she has some strange rhetoric, right? She's talking about what girlfriends, what other girls would have did. Now she's talking about being Native American and something about African Americans and Native Americans. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna assume with 5 minutes left in this video that these police thought this was a harmless lady. They thought she was harmless. And this might be why they responded the next day the way they did. I don't know. Maybe they were just trying to understand. No, we saw that lady the day before. She was calm. She was collected. She grabbed her belongings. Besides being a little weird, she got her stuff and left.
Thanks, Master Kim.
Only can see the clear after 417. You have to perfect that.
Yes, sir. I just want to confirm.
I'm not showing any previous 407As.
No, I think he broke in the next day.
Let me rerun it at the town square address. Sometimes they come up with that.
So the next day, which was the video I showed in the beginning, the next day he called the police because she was intruding now. She, at this point, had been put out 24 hours prior. She wasn't supposed to be there. She was an intruder in his home. So let me, I'm going to get ready to play the next video after this. Just so you guys can get some context now after the police having been there one time prior. Let me. Oh. I'm going to put that one next.
It's hard being like a child God rather than converting him to different.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know if they I forget if they put out actual video, but there's a still image that I keep seeing where her and him are struggling over a knife. You know, they're literally struggling over a knife, and the police come and obviously they delete him first. So I'm going to try and see if that's in the next video, which I believe it was, but I was a little distracted. So let's finish off the last 4 minutes. Again, she hasn't moved much. She hasn't made a fuss. She hasn't talked. Basically just ordered her Uber and just been standing there.
We have with the
Organization.
1029 for 407A for the TF.
You know, if you make something out of such a big movie, it comes on cost, just like you thought.
One I can see the ticket the address for the 407A for
I'll
now.
do it organized. Thanks.
That's heavy.
The bill has been like, it's gonna recruit
One I can line, I'll put it back.
in.
So Devil has a plan?
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you don't plan shit with me, I don't
He's
care.
not wrong, he's very, no, he wouldn't. I mean, you don't realize he's doing it for you because he makes it enjoyable. But he doesn't, you know, he's not about pain or struggle. He makes it really,
I don't know what she's talking about.
he makes it feel really good, so you want more. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. 7 minutes late, 9 minutes. Again,
Where, you're flying out of here?
Yeah.
Where are you leaving to?
somewhere I
So she was supposed to
somewhere
be.
enough to where my energy just
Okay, hold on. That's even more concerning. So she was supposed to be on a plane out of there, right? She's supposed to be out of that state. Why is she showing up the next day and the police aren't alarmed by that? You know what I mean? Like for the homeowner, not for her, for the homeowner, because again, he's the one who ends up deceased. But according to her, she's telling the police, hey, I'm flying out of here. I got a flight. I'm not even going to be here.
Oh, so you want to reset your energy?
Yeah, honestly. I mean, I have seen. I did that already this year, and then when I came here, and
Yeah, don't come here to
I
reset
don't know,
your
I believe in
energy.
people like when they tell me that they want someone, they had a job for me, or I did that job, and then they don't, people that own their own business.
1 North 24, copy 463 North,
You have to
35 40 University Center, Unit 107.
seriously. So, like, it's just really bad aspirations that think that they're not going to be yours.
Yeah.
Your reference A 411A on Convention Center, they're requesting me contact with the ER.
Convention center can't come to fucking Nora 2 to do a 463 themselves. They have to send us. They can do traffic stops on Eastern, but they can't do a 463.
You can leave wherever you want, as long as you're not here. Like literally, you can walk wherever. Just not
literally
over there. But
1 North 463, unknown if it is 411A. Suspect vehicle 401
the suspect 401 is to be a check.
Can we wait right around?
Yeah, you want to wait down there? Yeah, we can do that.
Now that I think about it, like, this is kind of scary, because she was supposed to leave the state. She's supposed to be going on a flight, get on a plane and fly her ass out of there, right? She obviously came there for a job that fell through. I don't think we know what happened between him and this woman, but he didn't want her at his house anymore. I wonder what the real issue is, right? Because now they're too impatient to wait for her to leave. So she's asking if she can go wait around the corner. For me, as a homeowner who I kicked you out of my house, I would probably be scared if they let you just stay there around the corner. I would probably be scared. Not gonna lie. But
Showing up with tonight, you're on the stop loss.
that's totally actually police officer.
Mary Baker, Adam David.
Northwest.
1 over 12, hold on to that.
Yeah, see, Miss Jalen,
I don't know what Mr. Wolfson needs.
I don't know if I just didn't hear that part, but I was having trouble hearing her interaction with the police now. I remember her. I heard her explicitly saying, though, you don't know what other girls would do. So I know there was an interaction between her and that man, and it wasn't friendly. It was most likely a romantic issue, and those can be deadly. So let me play this next video just so we can get a quick snapshot of what was going on. What happened 24 hours later when the police went back for him letting them know that there was a home invader. Again, this woman told them the day prior that she was leaving. She was getting on a flight and she was getting on a plane. They weren't going to see her again. So why she would be at his house, I don't know.
News Metro Police releasing a new batch of body cam videos just minutes ago. These body cam videos show the 24 hours before the deadly police shooting of a local homeowner who called 911 for help. The 3 recordings show Metro Police Officer Alexander Bookman, 2 other officers responding to Brandon Durham's home the night before the shooting on November the 10th. Durham was not home at the time, but he did dial 911 at around 11:30. He said his ex-friend, later identified by police as Alexandra Boudreau, would not leave his house. So this is the interaction when police showed up to kick her out of the house.
This is my ex-friend. But I'm waiting for him to get back. I fell asleep. He left me. I'm trying to, oh, now you show up? Okay, so now you're here.
Okay.
It's a lot.
So,
Hey,
man, can you continue with your story?
I'm not worried about it.
So,
I'll leave in peace.
Oh, you're
drugs
leaving?
are all over here.
Okay. Well, we'll just hang out while you grab your stuff if you're gonna head out.
to make out some of that, but they said, we're going to hang out here until you get the stuff out of the house. Police say Boudreaux returned the next night. That's the person there you see in the red hoodie, and broke into Durham's home, prompting him to call 911 for help, all leading to Officer Bookman shooting and killing Durham, the homeowner, while he was struggling with Boudreaux over a knife. We will continue to look through these videos that just made their way into the newsroom and bring you new details on later editions.
So I want to see the interaction. I'm not finding it, but I like that sofa, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's a nice one. What do they call those? Sectionals. It's a nice sofa. But yeah, so they obviously came back 24 hours later. You know, after she told them she was just waiting for her flight, she was gonna be gone. She came back the next day with a knife, and they shot him. So very unfortunate. He had a daughter. You saw in the beginning there, which part of it I did miss. I couldn't hear her that well. I don't know if it's just me, but she was literally over there like, look at all these drugs. He got a 15-year-old. Like, she was trying to get him in trouble, and she sounded way more volatile. Yeah, you know, because they got a gaming TV. They got a one to watch sports and one to watch Netflix. That's how it be with these like people who love technology. There's a lot of Americans like that. But he was probably playing video games on one, watching sports, and the other one was like a free streaming TV. So, but she acted. It's a man cave. Yeah, he probably was trying to chill there, you know, have a good time, hang out with this person who's supposed to be a friend. Obviously, you know, he let her stay in his house. They were obviously friends at one point, but things went sour. She seemed very angry at this point. When she left the house, they just let her stay out there. You know, he's never leaving. Who's never leaving? Right. But I feel bad for him because he called the police because this lady came back right after he called the day when he wasn't even there. He called that day to tell them she wouldn't leave. And the next day he calls again, they show up and shoot him. It's kind of crazy, you know, considering she's the one that's not supposed to be there and they were going to trespass her the day before. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Like, what do you guys think about Brandon Durham? Do you guys think that this is a innocent case of like, you know, just the police underestimating a woman? Do you think this man maybe was too aggressive with the person who broke into his home? I think once you break into somebody's home that you kind of lose the ability to ask for anything. So if the police need to body slam you, then that's what they have to do. Like, you broke into somebody's house. So you really don't get to be treated. You still need to be treated like a human being, but I just think like whatever they need to do to get you out at that point, they're going to do. So anyways, we're going to move on to the next body cam footage. You guys let me know in the too many holes. I don't know that there was holes in that story though. You know, I don't know that there was holes in that one. I think that it's pretty straightforward. He called the police for a reason. The woman is not small. I'm not trying to be mean, but she's not small. You know, we can't just assume every woman's not a threat to a man. We're all just tiny and men can overpower us significantly. No, you never know what substances she's on, what that caused her to be feeling, thinking. She obviously was mad enough to come back the next day. Like, she's supposed to be leaving. She came for a job. That job fell through. What was she really coming here for then? You know, obviously the man didn't agree to have her there long term because it was time for her to go, right? He needed her gone. Once you break the law, you lose credibility. Yeah, we can all defend you if there's no proof, if there's nothing, like we don't have any insight into you having possibly committed a crime. As soon as we find out you committed a crime, what are we supposed to do now? You broke into the home. You left peacefully the day before, yeah, because there was police and you were surrounded. But the next day you came right back after you said you were just waiting for a flight. Did you even have money for a flight? Were you going to ask him for some flight money? You know, it's a little bit crazy of a story. I do think though that the police sometimes just assume that women are less threats, and sometimes they are. A lot of times they might not be though. And unfortunately, this guy had to take a bullet for them to understand that this woman was a threat. So, anyways, let me move on to the next story now. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments, in the chat on that. We're going to move into this case, though, of a CO, right, a female CO, getting caught being romantic with men in her inmates and under her care, right? So you guys know that the field of correctional policing is greatly understaffed, but this lady taking her job serious to a whole nother level.
Arlene O'Banion, a prison officer being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
You felt me, I was like soaking through my clothes.
After hearing rumors from other officers that had seen her and Jason Parker together, an investigation was opened up. Charlene thinks she flew under the radar and got away, but what she doesn't know is that the detectives have all the evidence they need, and they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
You got a lot of that head game. Oh my God.
Right from the start, Charlene plays innocent and pretends she doesn't know anything about the allegations.
We're notified of a possible improper relationship between you and Jacob Parker. So we're here for that. I just kind of want to talk to you about it and get your side of that story.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Have you talked to him on any jail phone calls or anything like that?
No.
None at all?
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detective...
They got you in 4K, miss. Do these people not know that the jail calls are recorded? Do they not know? Somebody needs to tell these people that the jail calls are recorded, so they're going to know that you're talking to an inmate. To flat out deny it, like you're not even, at least go to try to lie. Oh, I was mentoring him. She's going to say no, straight up, like they don't have proof that you were on the phone with dude. Police definitely are wrong a lot of the time, but sometimes it's hard to get your side proved. I agree with that. And, they have a general job that I think for the most part people are going to be sensitive to them. Be like, well, their lives are in danger. They do this every day. But I think once people understand that this is their role, and so they're required to be performing at their top in the role, then I think we could be more. The police officers can be more transparent, and we should expect certain behavior out of them still. So, but I do think in this case they probably just underassumed. Their interaction with her the day before was anticlimactic. There was nothing. She grabbed her stuff and left. Called an Uber, went outside quietly, spoke, timidly. They probably had no idea that this woman the next day would be over there with a weapon. There was some hints, but they probably had no idea. So anyways, back to the CO here.
Detectives have much more evidence than they're letting on.
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here for, I don't know what period of time, and he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message and I blocked him on Facebook. And I guess one time Parker was going back to Equat to use the bathroom, and he was talking like at the window with me. Mm-hmm. And I guess Coker didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything. And Parker had told me that he had gone up to him and was like, don't talk to her or something crazy like that.
So I'm just not trying to be rude here. Why would you expect this conversation to come up from that? Like now, if that happened a few months ago.
Charlene claims that the only time she's had contact with Jason was a single time outside the jail bathroom. And it was a jealous inmate that started the rumor. But the detective is about to share some evidence that instantly proves that Charlene is hiding something.
I don't know exactly how it started, like who it started from, but I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls, and there's jail calls between you and Parker, and all that stuff's recorded. So
yeah,
I don't think
everything. All these jail calls are recorded. They're recorded. Do people not know that? I'm starting to think with the advent of all these channels reviewing jail calls, I'm starting to think Mariah the Scientist, all these, they had no idea. They tell you when you pick up that phone, all of these calls are monitored and recorded. Why? Do you think nobody was going to know you called this man in prison? And she's a CO.
Being completely truthful, well, I kind of know that you're not. And I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out on the table for you. So can you kind of tell me what's going on?
I guess a few years ago, we talked, and then I ended up here, and then he ended up here. I didn't know he was here. I didn't
You didn't know
anything like that.
Apparently, Charlene and Jason knew each other before prison and messed around before they both ended up here. This led to them joking around with each other here, but nothing else. Or at least, that's what she claims. In reality, the cops have recorded phone calls from inside the prison that tell a completely different story.
So what about some of these phone conversations?
No, not here or the phone.
I just mean conversations y'all are having on the phone.
No.
Since he's been in here.
Like sexual?
Well, I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it as that you've given him oral sex.
No, so here's my thing, okay? She's working. Baby, you caught. You are caught, baby. They caught you. Didn't we hear you give some fire? You give some fire head. Bitch, they caught you in 4K. They caught you in 4K. And you have the audacity to be sitting here acting like, me? Look at that face too. Me? Oh, Lord.
Is what I gather from these calls.
No, that was...
No, that was, girl, you're caught. The Empress, why is she playing with us? You are caught. The police know what firehead is. She's hoping they don't understand Ebonics. All right. She's playing.
We never dated. We just...
Okay. What kind of conversations have you had with him since
he
started working here and he's been in the jail?
Talking about what happened after he got out.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home, or? Okay.
Just 15 minutes into this interrogation, Charlene's original story.
Oh, first she said, no, we never talked. No, we weren't dating. No. Now you answer the phone at home, honey. That's crazy. She's like, nah, it wasn't. She's literally channeling her inner Shaggy, and her whole face is giving, damn, I'm caught. Because look how she's closing her eyes. She said, damn. That's what he said. That was the beginning of the video. Yo, you gave some fire head. Wow, you're gonna play dumb too, knowing they got audio of him saying that to you.
Is seeming less and less like the truth. She's been caught in multiple lies, admitted to having sexual relations with Jason in the past, and calling him regularly from her own home. This is highly irregular behavior for a prison officer, and it doesn't take a genius to realize something deeper may be going on. But the detective has some more questions pertaining to some more physical evidence.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about like photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
I gave him a photograph of his mom, which he had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
No, because...
So one of the things we're going to be doing is like looking at cameras and stuff too. Has there been any times where y'all were alone? Or you go out of camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
It's important to remember that Charlene has worked at this prison for a while now, and as such will know all the ins and outs of everything such as security camera blind spots and patrol officer schedules. You'd think that with all this knowledge, it'd be easy to hide a relationship with an inmate. But it seems that she forgot about a few vital pieces of information. Not least the facts that all phone calls placed from the prison are recorded. But thanks to the detectives, she's about to be reminded of this fact in
all of them. You don't call. There's never a time that you're calling the prison and you're having a private conversation. Can somebody tell these people? Can somebody tell these people it's not private? Why are you calling the prison thinking you're getting away with it? Dear, you're caught. You're caught. And they got you in 4K audio.
In a devastating way.
Hey, baby.
Got that.
Baby, guess what?
We're playing it for her.
I just won the blackjack game.
Yay.
I just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home. I'm just kidding.
Before you come home? Oh.
I'm just fucking with you. I was trying to make you think I have all these secret things.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
What?
What? What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably got this weird sex swing hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
You'll let me put you in it?
Yeah.
With a gag bar and everything?
Yeah, babe.
Listening to your own voice can be bad enough for some people, but listening to your own sexual phone calls in silence with two detectives in the room as you realize you've just been caught red-handed has got to be worse than...
Yeah, she knew. This is when she knew she had effed up. Yeah, it's embarrassing because she put her whole career on the line, baby, for some peen. Shout out to 100 people in the chat. Can you guys hit the like button? Don't be stingy. Hit the like button for me, okay? We're here having some fun. But she knew she knew she fucked up right here. She said, oh, man. And they're about to let me listen to it. Okay.
Any prison sentence there is. However, with the language they've used so far, there's no evidence that the pair have actually engaged in any sexual acts. But that changes quickly as Jason begins to directly incriminate Charlene on the call.
I just want you to look at me sometimes and be like, damn, my woman's fine.
Fine as wine.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a live ass fucking head game. Oh my god.
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Are you in bed?
Don't even get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Like just going back and thinking.
She said it wasn't my best moment. I was just trying to get it done. Girl, I know you ain't talking about some head, girl. Oh, Lord. Being used like a mule. Listen, she is nasty. Listen, she's nasty. He's being so explicit though. But if you hear so many of these prison calls, like I remember for a good couple weeks, I'm listening to Nyla playing the prison calls of Nesto and a bunch of. Then she did Wade Wilson. They are vulgar on these. They don't care. They just talk. They will say everything. Ooh, baby. Oh, yeah. She gonna have that money for you. They spill their guts, and it's like they don't know. Gord, it's too good. This is juice for us. This is juicy. But look at her. She's already sitting there like, damn, they're really gonna play this all back for me. Why did she even lie? I listen to them every day. Yeah. The funny thing is those people, jail call people on the phone, they think that they're having a private conversation. It's implied throughout the entire phone call that they're being recorded. I think they even say it when you decide if you want to pick it up. All calls are recorded. The only private calls are between you and your attorney. Big B, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's keep hearing this conversation between her and her jail boo.
About
Yeah.
that.
I get you horny.
Oh yeah. You felt me. I was like soaking through my clothes. Get very horny very easy. I always want to have sex. Like that's not even.
Not good.
I mean, I feel like I just like look at someone. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking horny. No, like of course, like I only get horny for you.
You kind of see how that sounds from like my point of view, like a more recent thing than 3 years ago. No.
The audacity she has to say no after hearing that phone call is truly remarkable.
Wow.
But to her credit, she's not going down easily. The detectives try asking her if she thinks Jason would cover for her, and she still doesn't break, sticking to her story that everything that happened outside of prison. Technically, this story could still be true with this phone call, but it definitely is odd for the couple to be recounting events from over 3 years ago in such detail, especially when earlier she struggled to remember any details about their relationship.
You talk about how profound this was, like just giving him this blowjob was, but you like don't remember anything about it. It's like telling me something, but you're having trouble coming up with details about it. You know what I mean? Like if it's that profound.
I mean, I gave him a blow.
He's telling me. He said, "You're telling me this blowjob from 3 years ago was so memorable. That's what he's going to be talking about." You know, and they're right. There is still a possibility they're talking about something old, but I don't know. It's giving it happened last week. Look at her face. She don't got no shame. Let's be real. She don't have no shame. She's a bird and she knows it. Let me.
Blowjob. How do you describe blowjob? I mean, is that?
Well,
what you
I want to know like about the blowjob.
They said we don't need to know about the blowjob. Why is he talking about it? Okay, why is he talking about it?
So if this is a factual thing that happened 3 years ago, I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it. Like
I mean, like we said in the car,
like when I asked you who was there, him of course, like when y'all met or whatever, and then when I asked like who else, you said it was like a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
But like you can remember one chick's name after you think about it for 30 seconds. So that's not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in the blowjob from 3 years ago. Not that hard to believe. Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us. Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done. Have y'all had any inappropriate contact, whether it's groping, blowjob?
Lord, what made you think women stopped doing that? What made you think they stopped doing that? When they invent another vehicle, trust me, it's only going to change from women giving BJs in cars to women giving BJs in those other vehicles. Okay? All ages. Old or not, there's old ladies doing this shit, Gore. Don't play dumb.
Vaginal, anal sex, anything, hand jobs. Yes, I'm being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
Just as the detectives say, things really aren't adding up. Yet she's still sticking to her story. Or at least she was, before a switch flipped and she said this.
And what is it?
I might have given him a blowjob in the back part of the
In the back part of the quad? Okay. How long ago was that?
I don't know, 3 months ago.
The secret's out, and Charlene has confessed.
But
But this matter is more complex than it may seem. In cases of officer-inmate relations, the main question that arises is the issue of consent. Given that Jason and Charlene knew each other prior to being in prison, it's not wrong to assume that consent went both ways in this interaction. However, in these cases, that's actually completely irrelevant. According to a 2005 report, federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and contact between prison staff and inmates, and that all sexual relations between staff and inmates are considered abuse, even if the act would have been considered consensual if it occurred outside of a prison. This is because of the huge amount of inmate abuse that was observed in prisons. In 1996, it was estimated that between 12 and 14% of all prison inmates had been sexually assaulted, and the officers were rarely punished. So to prevent this, a zero-tolerance policy was introduced to try and prevent abuse towards inmates, a policy, it seems, that Charlene completely ignored.
I'm going to ask, but I feel like I know the answer. I'm losing my job.
So that's not really up to me. Internal Affairs is aware. Investigation is separate from.
Hey, no, you giving out you handing out BJs. You're not keeping your job, love. You're not keeping your job is gone. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Wait, what made you think you were gonna keep your job? This lady has audacity.
From ours, because it's two totally different things. So
yeah, what kind of charges?
She really thought she was
like.
So it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee. So
like BJ's in prison from chick that. Oh Lord. I think with or without the staff, you guys would figure it out in jail. Just saying.
I said the ball kind of be in their court, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
This is Charlene O'Ban.
Geez, sorry y'all. I definitely fumbled that. I think we were like here.
It's two totally different things. So
yeah, what kind of charges? Like.
So it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee.
She's
sorry. I'll be in the court, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
I mean, should I go to jail?
That's up to the DA's office.
As it turns out, Charlene would lose her job, and the only time she'd ever be allowed back in jail would be for the 100 days that she'd be made to serve after being found guilty of sexual activity.
100 days in jail isn't that bad. She's getting off light. Meanwhile, he's still in jail. So she's getting off pretty light. This is from August 2023. So that one was very ridiculous. Honestly, I think it's pretty sad what she's going through. Can you guys hit the like button for me? We got 200 people in here, 13 likes. Y'all are being so mean. Hit the like button for me. Hit the like, share, subscribe, whatever it is that you can do for me, for my channel, for the algorithm. I would appreciate you guys. Okay, don't be stingy. All right. Liddy says, those COs were lining up for BJ's. Listen. I don't know what be going on over there. I don't know what be going on in the prisons. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So let me get rid of that. We're going to put the next video up. So we got 2 more left. And we're going to talk about the parents' worst nightmare. Now, this one creeped me the F out. But I was like, you know what? This needs to be talked about. This type of topic needs to be talked about because we're just not real about how many predators we did. Okay, this is a situation where kids were down by the docks with their parents, and they got out of their parents' sight for a little bit, and this creeper found them and started trying to just straight up pretend they were his children. So let's watch this. And this is a trigger warning. This is a predator. He's going to admit to liking children. He's going to be very weird about it. Notice how this random black lady has no accolades. Yes, go kiss his ass. Who the hell are you? Like, you people just come out of nowhere and start talking shit. At least hit the like button. We got 16 likes. That's a little bit better. If y'all can put those likes up for me a little bit more, I'll be so thankful to you guys. Y'all don't even understand. I'm dry begging for likes. Hit the like button, please.
Kind of freaked out and said, "Where's my mom? You're not my dad."
What's mom's name?
Might be Isis. Might be Katrina.
You're trying to get a kid to come with you somewhere that is not where his parents are. That's not acceptable here or anywhere.
He said hi, and I said, do I know you?
Yeah, the kid was probably just very confused.
Are you attracted to kids?
Well, they're beautiful creatures. Yeah, I'm attracted to kids.
You are?
Enjoy being detained.
Oh my God, y'all heard that? They're beautiful creatures. Some of these people, I'm sorry, some of these people just gotta go. They gotta be plucked out of here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Figure out what's going on. Okay, perfect. That's a good idea. Thank you.
On Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021, a parent's worst nightmare shockingly comes to life when a strange man tries to lure a 10-year-old child onto a nearby boat. Terrified, the young girl attempts to flee from the man and approaches a few employees working at Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, parasailing. The child quickly hides behind the workers.
Let me just say, this kid, incredible parenting. They taught this kid what to do in this situation. I'm gonna say that.
And shakily tells them of the horrifying ordeal to which the only and approaches onto a nearby boat. Terrified, the young girl attempts to flee from the man and approaches a few employees working at Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, parasailing. The child quickly hides behind the workers and shakily tells them of the horrifying ordeal to which the owner, Benjamin Rodriguez, discreetly dials 911. However, the disturbing nightmare is far from over, as police soon come face to face with their deranged suspect, who will go on to make one of the most shocking confessions ever caught on tape. When authorities arrive on the scene, Benjamin frantically makes his way to an officer, wasting no time in divulging the twisted tale.
This girl that's over there, the girl's crying, coming up to us saying this guy's trying to take her. This guy claims it's his daughter. The girl is not going with it. Where's over at the booth with another officer? With my apartment? Yeah, no, I don't know. Another officer. So I'm getting the picture of this guy's trying to take her. So I'm like, well, let's go try to find a parent. Right. All right. So I'm walking, trying to play along, because I know it's like not adding up. So we head over to the grass, because he's like, I'm good, I can go. So he goes to some random girl. Okay? That's the kid's mom. Hey, miss, are you missing a kid? No, I don't know the kid. I don't know this guy. The guy's like, well, I don't tell you, but I gotta go. And I'm like, no, buddy, I'm with you here. I'm not leaving you. I'm trying to take this girl. The girl came to us, trying to get away from this. What's the mom look like? Oh, I forget. Okay. Well, how do you know the mom? I'm her husband. Well, we haven't been married for 3 years. We're not quite married. We're not actually going to get married, but we might. And it's like this freaking loose ends, man.
Officers quickly learn that the man in question is 42-year-old John Marshall Randolph. As they approach their suspect, it's blatantly clear that absolutely nothing is adding up.
And let me say, these people do a really good job, right? They clearly can, one, tell this little girl's not with this man. They play along just enough to keep him thinking that he's getting over on them. Because these people, they're deviants. If they think that they're getting over on you, if they think that they've convinced you of a lie and you believe them, they're going to keep talking. They're going to keep talking. He's going to hang himself with what he'll say. He'll just start running his mouth. That's what they did. They caught him in so many lies just by letting him talk. Well, okay, show me where the parent is. Take me to the parent. These people, this is how you protect children right here. I'm going to give all these people their flowers and how they dealt with the predator and the child and the police. He calmly called the police. He calmly described to the police, hey, I could tell this wasn't his daughter. They intervened perfectly and swiftly. There was nobody sitting on the corners waiting for somebody else to step up. They stepped up for that little girl.
However, their questions will be answered soon enough.
How did you come across the child? You said she was down there by the parasail, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, take your hands out of your pockets for me. Thank you. I don't know. I had a friend shot in the face because somebody had their hands in their pockets. So, we can continue this, or you can pay attention to what I'm asking you and telling you. Okay. Thank you. Now, you came across a child down by the parasailing thing, right? So what happened next?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. Have you been drinking today?
No.
You took her, or you brought her to somebody?
I didn't bring her. She was running down by herself.
Right down by herself. Okay.
Yeah, and we came up here and she was down the docks. So I thought, I thought she was still in the dock, but I don't know. He says that she's not. Where did you see her?
I'm gonna be able to mail it
To us.
parking lot by the beach.
Came up to us.
So you took the child to the parasailing people?
Yeah, child ran down there.
Okay. So how did you get involved in this?
I just saw the child run down there.
Okay. Do you try and stop the child or anything?
The child just ran down there. She said I was. Well, I remember saying I'm her dad because that's true.
You're the child's dad?
Yeah, she hasn't seen me in a very long time.
Okay.
So I apologize. But
Wow.
she was visitation with her mom and see the kid, you know. And so it was like the first time seeing her in a long time. And so she kind of freaked out and said, "Where's my mom? You're not my dad. I'm sorry." It probably wasn't the best way to like have a first visitation, but she found her mom and on the grass over there, and he saw that. Yeah, the kid was probably just very confused.
Despite John's explanation for his disturbing actions, he will soon twist his words into another attempt at clearing his name. However, police are about to learn that John is not who he
Like, doesn't he know that this information is easily verifiable? Like, they're gonna know you're not this kid's dad. What's the point in lying? Like, he has zero shame. Shout out to 300 people in the chat. If you guys could hit the like button for me, I would appreciate it. Wow, just pure panic lies. Why even say that? Exactly. It's gonna be provable you're not this kid's dad. So you're gonna say you're just her dad, you just popped up on her, like, not even put in any thought. It just shows how like crazy these people will just, they'll go to any lengths to lie about what they're doing. Any lengths.
claims to be. In fact, he's hiding a most disgusting secret, and he won't be able to conceal it for much longer.
Just out of curiosity, why would you just show up and be like, "Hey, I'm your dad"?
You know, she exchanged, like I met her.
Right. Even if that were true, why would you do that?
So you met her over there, and the kid was there.
So he wants them to believe that he just popped up on his kid, knew where she would be playing away from her parents, to come introduce himself as her father. Mind you, she's not a very, very young kid. She's old enough to be by herself, probably 8, 9, or 10. I forget how old they say she was. She would know if you were her dad. You're clearly not her dad. Like, why even lie like that? It's weird. If I was that cop, I would turn that camera off and sort this problem out. Right. Accidentally. That's what it
You
would
can have that
be.
in your pocket for me, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thank you. That's all right.
Fix these people. I'm sorry.
And then when you met her and the child, who's the mom? Actually, what's the mom's name?
Might be Isis, might be Katrina, might be Mary.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Is the little girl with you over there when you contacted them at the bench?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so did she take off running at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. And then that's when she ran down the dock there?
Look at his face.
Yeah.
John, right now, I'm going to detain you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm going to stop.
I'm arrested, but you are being detained.
Okay. So we figure out what's going on.
You got a stupid ass smirk.
Good idea.
Thing.
John is oddly chipper for being detained, and his strange demeanor makes for an all the more disturbing investigation. However, this would only be amplified when police have a chance to speak with the victim, who turns out to actually be a 10-year-old boy, despite what John claims.
Wow.
It's heartbreaking to hear the child relive the traumatic experience.
10-year-old boy. That is so sad. That is so sad.
He was over there, and I was jumping off the dock and getting back on, and he was talking to my brother, and I don't know what they were saying, but he said hi, and I said, "Do I know you?" And he said something about me going super fast, like he saw me when I was
Smart.
and he said he
Oh,
goes super
gosh.
slow, and then he high-fived me, and we were walking down.
Like
He said he owned all those boats, and then he wanted me to go on boating with him, and then he wanted to do the parasail with me. And then I went to these people, and he also said that he was my mom's husband, and I was his son. And then he said something about like we together for a million years.
Did the guy say anything to you, dude? What did he say?
He just kept on calling me. He literally let me pick what name he was going to talk.
The two brothers were swimming near the docks at Independence Point in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, when John creepily began to talk to the children. But the brave 10-year-old immediately knew what to do and quickly asked for help from Benjamin and his employees. Here, Benjamin.
I said that little boy is smart. He all but saved their lives. He all but saved their lives. Being able to vocalize and being quick to his feet and say, "This is not our dad," running to another grown-up to help them. That was exactly what that boy was supposed to do. And the two of them are 10-year-olds. That is sick. Who knows? These kids are, they had an angel with them, I swear, because that is so freaking scary. Like, that makes me so uncomfortable to know these kids were just at the whim of this dude. And imagine if they would have been just slightly less vocal kids, right? Less confident, less aware of strangers. Yes, I'm proud of these boys too, because who knows what the devil would have been waiting for them with that man. If that man would have been successfully lured them to wherever, what he would have done to them. I am so grateful that these parents taught them something. You gotta teach your kids. You can't be more worried about them believing that the world is not a safe place. They need to know what to do when a predator like this comes trying to pretend to be your family, pretend to be a parent, claim that your parents sent you there. No, they need to know that weirdos like this are going to pull up on you when your parents aren't there, and you need to tell them, "I'm not going nowhere with you. I don't know you. You're not my parent. Seek an adult." That is the perfect thing to teach a kid what to do. I am so grateful these parents taught them kids something, because that's why they're here today. Good morning, Miss Mel. Good morning. That's why they're here today, to talk about it. You gotta teach kids. I'm not saying that the kids that don't speak up or aren't able to vocalize what's happening to them are dumb. I'm saying they don't know. I'm saying a lot of us would rather kids feel like the world is a perfect place than to tell them the reality. No, tell them kids exactly what. You don't gotta tell them what a pedo is gonna do. Just tell them straight up, these people exist. Be careful. Somebody comes and talks to you when your parents aren't there, claims that if anybody's gonna come get you, I'm gonna facilitate that. You're not just they're gonna pop up on you, and you need to tell these kids. The kids need to know. Naivety is dangerous for kids today. Unawareness, dangerous. I tell my kids, the world isn't safe. To get help and take pictures if possible. Also, if they see something, say something. That's perfect. That's what kids need to know. We're living in a wicked world, and believe it or not, I showed a case of a dude who had already priorly assaulted 2 girls. After that case where he took the girl from one state to another, dude only got like 15, not 15. He only got like, he got like 15 months. He was out of jail in 15 months and got a $25,000 fine. That was it. At the end of the day, the police, the system doesn't keep these predators away for that long unless it's something super serious. You just got to assume there's predators everywhere. You have to assume that, unfortunately. The kids need to know. This kid knew exactly what to do. Find an adult. Let this person know, I don't know you. Who are you? Stop talking to me. I need my parent. Where's an adult? That's what you do. You don't interact with these people. You don't tell them anything about yourself. You don't even talk to them. Exactly. I do too. There's a woman in her 50s in jail off of old. She got arrested in her 20s for being involved in trafficking marijuana. She's still in prison. So it's very unfortunate. My girls talk a lot about men walking around and hanging out where the kids do, and they film kids. I told them to go to the counter and tell someone that works there what the man is doing and call me. Yeah, there's a lot of stories like that. And people think kids just be talking. Kids are going through it. The same thing with the Brittany Zamora case. I talked about that one yesterday. This is a teacher who kids are saying there's rumors that she has a relationship with a 13-year-old kid. Principal hears this. The kid is being forced to go to recess because he's spending his recess with the teacher. Nobody's taking any red flags for that. Nobody's concerned with the amount of time that this adult woman is spending with the child. Nobody sees a problem with a young boy wanting to spend more time with his teacher than his classmates. There's something wrong with that. You know, these body cam footages, they just remind me the type of world that we're living in. It's very, very scary, but these parents taught these kids well. Even their own parents can harm them. Exactly. I caught a wanted rapist when I was 12 because my parents taught me healthy apprehension. Yep, people always wonder why I don't have a problem with my kids being loud. This is why they will fight, yell, and scream. Yes, kids, listen. Gone are the days where you should be telling kids to be seen, not heard. Gone are the days. Kids need to speak up. They need to know people shouldn't violate them. We watched Dr. Spirit yesterday on, I forget, I think it was Nyla's channel. Dr. Spirit tell ISIS, the lady who been over here telling all her kids in her life business, they told her, you need to be aware. Tell kids about their bodies. Nobody's supposed to touch them. Their genitals. Call it a vajayjay. Call it breasts. Whatever it is. Kids, adults are not supposed to be coming to you, touching you, doing nothing with you in private, telling you to keep secrets. All of that. You need to be transparent with these kids. That's what Dr. Spirit said. You need to be transparent with the kids because this is what is out there waiting for them. This creep ass, and I'm telling you, the video is going to get so much worse. That's why I'm trying to fluff it up a little bit and have a conversation because it's going to get so much worse. I took my kids out of school and homeschool and said, that's amazing. Not everybody can do that. You know, that's the sad part is that most parents aren't going to be able to take that on. Some parents don't want their children to grow up too fast, so they may unknowingly hold back vital info that helps to keep them safe. Not cool. Yeah, they'd rather their kid believe that the world is an innocent place. And I'm sorry, that's dangerous. It is dangerous for your children to believe that they're in a safe place in the world. Outside of your home, and even then that could be dangerous too. There are no safe places. Children need to be aware of their surroundings, not talk to strangers. These are conversations we need to have. Obviously, we need to have them way more than we are having them right now. I believe that we're going through it already, Gage. The way everything is being pulled from under the, from outside of, people are talking about everything right now. I wonder if people are going to start talking about what's going on around them more as well, because I think a lot of people are still being extremely delusional about, all the SA that happens and things like that. We're still really not talking about that. Yep. Exactly. Kids shouldn't touch them either because they do. Yep, we talked about that as well yesterday. A lot of times it's children. It starts with teaching them to protect themselves. You can't be everywhere all the time. Exactly. And the parents who think they can are in for a rude awakening. You only have so much control over your kids basically before they go to school. Once they start going to school, you have almost no control outside of teaching them what's right and what's wrong. That kid is going to be exposed to so many different people. You're not going to be the main person interacting with them. They might even, and I hate to say it, this happens for all kids, they might even not even start to care what you say anymore. And it just is what it is. Did I miss? Oh, okay, no, I didn't. All right. Let's see what we got here. As parents, we teach our kids about stranger danger, but the schools stop teaching them. Yep. School teachers, parents should all be teaching these children constantly through 5th grade about this. I agree. As soon as we start talking about puberty, let's start talking about the dangers of predators, right? At the same time, because we do it in 5th grade too. As above, so below world. Y'all are getting into all of that now. Let me see here. My daughter and Kitty Claus are besties. Hey, Robin, what's going on, girl? She said, right, that's just denial. Yeah. I even talked to mine about drugs as soon as possible. Kids are doing them so young now. Yeah, kids are doing a lot so young. You gotta watch your kids. Yeah, the tough thing is now kids want to talk about privacy, but they forget there was a time where your parents used to look at who you text message. Now these kids have complete control over their phones. They can do anything on their phones. They can do anything. They can bypass any of these safeguards that are usually put in place. But let's continue with this footage again. I want to get through this. It's not the most settling video, so trigger warning.
Gives a detailed recollection of those shocking moments captured by the security camera.
The kid and that dude. Yep. This kid's trying to get help. This dude's trying to convince him to not get help. Right. So we're winding up for the day. Yep. Getting things done. And this is his last chance trying to convince this kid to not get help. Here comes the kid, comes over here, and they're like, "Hey, do you have any questions?" Thinking they're, Parasol customers or something. And this kid's now crying, and he comes over to me, and he's like, he said, "That's not my dad." And yes, I'm his dad. He just got up from a nap. He's groggy. He thinks like this when he wakes up from a nap. And we're just like, what the crap?
About a 10-year-old. And he had a weird smile too, but like he's talking about a 10-year-old. What 10-year-old, when they get up from a nap, they don't know that you're their parent? Is limited. We have to constantly remind our children of their boundaries, not being afraid to speak up. I'm constantly reminding my daughter every day. Yeah, I do think it's as parents, I think it's the parents' responsibility first to tell people you need to watch out for people. People just can't touch you. People can't just do anything to you. Oh my goodness, Miss Jalen, thank you so much for gifting memberships. Those of you who were gifted a membership, Miss Adrian Nicole. Oh, look at one of the Pegasus girls. We got Ase Tanisha. Thank you so much for being here, Ase. Whether you are or not, you've been gifted a membership. Miss Denova 24, you were gifted a membership as well. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much, Miss Jalen, for gifting memberships. I always want to thank you guys because literally when you guys give memberships to people, you're allowing me to share my exclusive content with more people on the channel. Thank you so much, Miss Jalen. All right, Bridget Renee got one as well. Thank you so much, Miss Jalen. I appreciate you. You are a dear. Laura Jordan says, "Mama, first year about teachers leave as soon as the clock turns 3:14 or whenever students get on the bus and in their cars. They care much less now compared to when I was growing." And a lot of the times you'll have teachers talk about how, and thank you again, Miss Jalen, they talk about how they're not being paid well, and I understand that. But I will say there does seem to be a lack of quality. Like, I remember some stuff happening to my younger brother. He's 21 now. I remember some stuff happening to him in high school that I was like, damn, even the OG teachers wouldn't have been like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so weird. They let their 20-year-old and they supply. I have report. Oh my goodness, that is so. That reminds me of that movie Mama. At a certain age, that's definitely the case. Their peers become more of an influence than their parents do. Yeah, and you got to prepare your kids. Yeah, I'm telling you, Robin. And she'd be the first one running her little funky butt mouth, all right? But she'd be the first one, sorry, I'm going to ignore that. Anyways, the important thing is that your peers, by the time you become influenced by your peers, hopefully you've been shaped by your parents enough, right? Hopefully you've taken the core lessons. You know how to keep yourself safe. You know how to advocate for yourself. You know when a situation is going left versus in the right direction, right? Hopefully by the time your peers have influence over you, you know right from wrong at least. And unfortunately a lot of these kids, they go from being sheltered to now that all they care about is what their peers have to say, and that's very dangerous for young people. My kids had a teacher that would tell the kids they're small and he's big. He was a bully. Oh Lord, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. My daughter, her teachers don't like me because I'm constantly on there. And you stay on their butt. Stay on their butt, Empress. Because at the end of the day, I don't believe that whole, don't believe your kids. I'm not saying always assume that your kids are angels, But sometimes these teachers are not worth nothing. You ought to listen to your child. Some of these teachers assume that you're gonna just believe what they have to say, and you shouldn't. You should hear everything out, try to get both sides of the stories. And nowadays, it is falling somewhere in the middle what the actual truth is. Children are meant to be seen and not heard. That's crazy, and it's crazy that would be said in a school. Like, what if you need help? What if you need to speak up about something that's going on in school? Like, that's ridiculous. As a teacher of at-risk high schoolers, I was the only person who cared for them unconditionally and taught them patience and empathy. And they're so lucky to have some have some teachers that are still like that. There's so many teachers that are overworked, they're jaded, they're checked out. You know what it means to be checked out at school? That teacher is not putting no effort in. She don't even really see hope for the students. Like, I've heard teachers who straight up will tell kids that they don't believe they can go a certain way. That got me so mad when I was working for a school before. She's telling the kids, "Oh, I don't believe she's capable of that." I'm looking at a kid who literally can do whatever the hell she wants if she puts her mind to it. And it's really sad that there are teachers out there who are in contact with students who are at risk, and they don't tell them, they don't encourage them to seek knowledge. Like, they don't tell them that they can be whatever they want. They don't teach them anything. It's kind of sad. They sort of teach them their limitations, like, hey, you should probably go into a trade or, become a CNA or whatever. Like, they will actually try to pigeonhole even the younger kids to believe that they don't have options. Listen, you got to. They were afraid of him. You shouldn't be afraid of your teacher. Yeah, you shouldn't, because you're not learning anything from a teacher that you're afraid of. Are way too specific for a child that young to know without being true. I'm sure there's errors, of course, but I'd like to think the majority. Right. All right, let's get into this. Let's finish this video up. Even though I don't want
to leave, or you guys can stay here. I'm gonna go.
Let's continue.
And I'm like, Riley, you stay here with this kid. I'm going to go follow this guy.
While Benjamin refused to let John out of his sight until police arrived, his employee, Riley Estes, helped the child find his mother.
Stoked. I hope that guy was I hope they get a lot of dirt on him. Get that creeper out of here, man.
As the sickening investigation continues, we'll learn that John does in fact have a bit of dirt on him, so to speak. However, in no way does it compare to his upcoming confession that will stop authorities dead in their tracks. Back at the police vehicle, John tells an officer that he works close by, but authorities could have never guessed the suspect's profession.
Where's your office at? In that building?
The diamond building over there, the 250.
Okay. What office? What is it?
Where?
Where?
Yeah.
He's a
How long have you been
lawyer.
in that office?
Over here.
Over here.
I moved in.
He's a lawyer.
2021?
Yeah.
It's like a month ago. Yeah.
Shockingly, John is telling the truth.
He's an attorney. This is an attorney. Like, that is so freaking creepy.
He informs the officer that he opened his practice, the law office of John Randolph, in Spokane, Washington back in 2015, although he recently moved to Idaho only 1 year prior to his current encounter with police. According to several reviews, John is held in high regard as an attorney, even winning a Client's Choice Award in 2020. However, there's a side of the lawyer that hasn't made its way into the light just yet, but this will take a drastic turn.
Wow, and he's highly regarded. Very creepy. I thought he was going to say teacher for a minute. I thought so too. I'm not going to lie. My heart almost sunk. I thought he was going to say he worked somewhere in proximity to children. He was probably going to traffic the boys. Yeah. Definitely had the money to. They come in all shapes and sizes, rich and poor. Absolutely. But the worst, the scariest for me is these ones that have the means. These ones that have the means are the ones that really scare me. They can do damage. They can manipulate kids with their money. He's incredibly scary. To know he's an attorney, like, they say it's the ones you would never think that would do it that do it. Yeah.
In just a matter of minutes.
What brought you over here?
I went through a divorce for a ride.
How long were you married?
3 months. This time, we've been married before.
What? How long were you married before? Pretty high.
Another officer is a bit suspicious of John and questions him further about his law practice.
Been over in this office here for about months.
I can show you my office. It's got a swimming pool and saltwater swimming pool, a jacuzzi, sports, a parking garage. I got a big leather couch, and art all over the office and stuff like that.
What do you do for work?
I practice law.
Law?
Yeah.
Right on. What do you
Crazy.
Civil,
Yeah,
criminal? What do
I
you
don't do criminal much because it's kind of weird, like criminals.
Oh, you don't do criminal, but you're a criminal. So I bet you know, sir, I bet you know how much time you're about to go to jail for. Right? I bet you know. This guy is a whole attorney. He got the nerve to be up here trying to pick up some kids. This is very scary. I'm not going to lie. It could be anybody. Very sick. Lana, like, would y'all think that this man is an attorney? I would never have thought an attorney would be at the pier trying to pick some kids up. That's crazy.
According to his website, John practices personal injury, general litigation, and family law. Ironically, it now looks like he may be the one who needs an attorney, and for a most sickening reason.
So the boy you were following, do you own these boats right here? Do you own any boat?
Yeah. Oh.
You own all of them? Okay. Did you ask that boy to go on the boats with you?
And he owns all of the boats. Why does he own a bunch of boats? It's giving. It really is giving trafficker at this point. Like, it's giving trafficker.
For a boat ride?
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Why would you ask him to go on a boat with you?
My stepson.
I thought you were saying that it was a girl, though.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. Got it. We are going to worry about this.
Did you want to go parasailing with them too?
Yeah, that would have been.
Well, did you say that?
Probably.
Okay. Why would you ask him to go parasailing with you?
Because it's fun. It's like this big parachute. You go up into the air, you go down the lake. It's amazing. And there's crystal waters. It look like diamonds. And...
But that's not your son.
Oh, is it? Okay. I'm sorry.
Or daughter.
She says that's not your son or daughter. Why would you want to do any of that stuff with them? Like, this dude is a whole creep.
That's not. You don't tell me sorry. That's your fault. You're trying to get a kid to come with you somewhere that is not where his parents are. That's not acceptable here or anywhere.
He's so dumb too.
You were guys like talking and calling him Charlie. Do you even have a stepson?
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental illness? Yeah. What were you diagnosed with?
Oh, thank you so much, Gore.
Are you supposed to be taking any medications?
No, my doctor.
Y'all are twerking in the chat. Thank you so much, Gore. Thank you for the gifted memberships. We got Mel, we got Empress Kia membership, we got Black Beauty, we got Champion Feminist, and TMKC. Thank you so much for gifting memberships, Gore. You guys, please enjoy the memberships. I'm going to be revamping that content. I'm going to try to do some members only lives and things like that. Sort of try to give you guys some good content. Thank you so much, Gore, for the donation. You are greatly appreciated. I don't know if he's trying to set up an insanity plea or they are, because they said, have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness? Like, this guy's trying to play dumb. Knowing people choose career that suits their sick mind so they can be closer to their victims. Right, he mentioned being a family court attorney. Imagine this weirdo defending you and your kids. And you had no idea that he's at the pier just... And mind you, if the police hadn't got involved, they would never know that he'd be doing this. He obviously doesn't have a prior record. He's an attorney. You wouldn't be licensed as an attorney with that type of criminal record. As far as I know, there's like an ethics portion to your license as an attorney. Sorry. I'm back. It only took a second. I knocked myself out of the video because I got trigger happy trying to click Gore's comment. Sorry. Thank you so much, Gore, again for the gifted memberships. I don't know why my mouse is sticking like that. So thank you, Gore. I couldn't find there we go. Thank you so much. He is the dumbest criminal attorney I've ever heard. Attorneys are supposed to be quick on their feet with the excuses and lies. Listen, he was so caught up in his disgusting, he's disturbing. He's a disturbing individual. That's why he couldn't think of a lie. He was meant to be caught and taken to go live under a cell, not even inside. This is the type of dudes they should throw in the shoe for months, years even. Like, he don't deserve to be around humans at all. Yeah, he's a sicko, John. He's a sicko. He has the audacity to be playing dumb like he's not a whole attorney.
John is allegedly hiding a rather tumultuous past. A woman who would like to remain anonymous asserts that the suspect is a ticking time bomb. You don't know when he's going to relapse. Just wait until he unveils his most sick and twisted confession.
Do you come down here often?
Yeah.
Do you talk to kids often?
No.
Why today?
It's my birthday.
Your birthday? Are you attracted to kids? Really?
Well, they're beautiful creatures.
Huh?
Yeah.
What? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm attracted to kids.
You are? You watch child porn?
So this sicko comes and looks for children to talk to because it's fucking birthday. Are you serious? I'm sorry. These people don't need to be gasping for breath. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna be that crazy mama until my daughter graduates high school till the end. Yeah, you gotta be, because this weird, like, there's sickos. Yeah, they are hated by inmates, but I feel like they should be hated by everybody. Like, the fact that they even get to be free to roam like this.
You're just attracted to kids? What makes you attracted to them?
They're beautiful creatures of God.
Following his disturbing admission, John was arrested and charged with one count of child enticement. However, according to Idaho law, because the charge is a misdemeanor offense, a suspect can only be placed under arrest if at least one of two conditions are met. Either an officer must witness the alleged crime or the suspect has a warrant. On account of these conditions, an officer contacted the mother of the child, along with Benjamin Rodriguez, and the two then placed John under citizen's arrest. The 42-year-old was then booked into the Kootenai County Jail. According to police documents, John would go on to make another bogus claim, this time saying that he believed the child to be his son from the future, thus why he wanted to take him parasailing. Yet it would only be another failed attempt at explaining his monstrous actions. An update provided by a local news source approximately 1 week after the incident reported that John pleaded guilty to disturbing the peace. As a result, he served 1 day in jail and was ordered to pay a $1,000 fine, although it appears that
Oh my God. He's still working currently as an attorney? All right. I'm just, that guy shouldn't even have a law practice anymore. He went to jail for 1 day. That is ridiculous. He was obviously going to steal the kid. That should be a felony and he should be locked up. Exactly. You admit to being a creep like that, you should be sent to a mental health facility. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I did not know that he got away with that. I believe Washington. Iowa or Idaho. I believe Idaho.
The incident reported that John pleaded guilty to disturbing the peace. As a result, he served 1 day in jail.
He got a disturbing the peace charge. This is ridiculous. Anyways, y'all gotta teach these kids to be weary of predators like this trying to talk to them. They need to know that these people exist. All right, this is the last one I'm gonna do. This was a routine eviction. I'm just gonna say this: like, you get evicted from a place, to the point they're coming to your house to get you. Just get out. Like, just get out. This country, we know that in this country, unfortunately. Thank you, Bridget. I hope you have a good day. We don't own anything, so it doesn't matter how long you've been. It doesn't matter how long you've been paying for a house, how long you've been paying rent. If you don't pay one day, your house is going to be taken from you, and it just is what it is. If it was Washington or Carly, I can see it. Iowa deals with these people in other ways. That's crazy. That's crazy that he even still has a law business. Like, we all just saw John Randolph try to kidnap a child in broad daylight at a pier full of people. And he gets to just go back to his business. That's crazy. So he is back out to do it again, and the next child might not be so lucky. When he does this again, the judge that gave him 1 day should also go to jail for not stopping it from the start. You know, the sad part is that we have to wait for some child to become victimized. You know what I mean? Like, we know he already admitted the type of person he is. Now we just have to wait for it to happen before he can go to jail. Like, that's insane. Anyways, let me play this next one because that just got on my damn nerves. I did not know that he didn't get a sentence. I think because that was one of the ones that I didn't finish. So, anyways, this person's getting evicted, and I guess he couldn't deal with it. So, let's see this one.
We'll get it together. We will work whatever we need to work out together.
They possibly have access to grenades and explosives.
Mr. McDonald!
Shots fired! Shots fired! No. Radio, we got an officer stuck.
Bring a few of those rifles from the armory ASAP.
Bring all of them.
This is exactly how shootings go down doing like this.
When police officers in Euclid, Ohio assist with a routine eviction, they have no idea that they're walking into a deadly confrontation with a man who has no intention of leaving the property. The suburban peace is shattered when gunshots pierce the November air, and police must race against time, face shocking violence, and launch a daring rescue attempt to save one of their own. On the afternoon of November 9th, 2023, 2 Euclid police officers respond to a call from a bailiff carrying out an eviction order on behalf of the municipal court.
You know, you guys made a good point. Like, I think we should try to utilize social media to make the world more aware of predators. So I am going to look up the information of the law office of John Randolph. They said it was in Washington, but I'm also going to look at Iowa and Idaho. And I'm going to make sure that I'm going to give you guys the information if you guys want to reach out to this news station as well, and whoever I can find. But I'm gonna contact the Better Business Bureau. I'm just gonna start doing reviews because there shouldn't be somebody who tried to kidnap minors still practicing law anywhere. So make sure you guys check out my wall later. I'm going to find some info on the law office of John Randolph. If you guys want to be internet sleuths too, go to my wall later today. I'm going to find this information and we're going to dox this guy for real. Like, I don't know how much he's really been doxed. This is out there. Maybe nobody cares. He runs his own practice. But I think this information needs to be more readily available to the public. Like, he shouldn't just be practicing law out there. So I'm going to do the best I can. There isn't really much out there outside of like change.org and stuff like that. But he needs to lose his license. He should not be practicing law anywhere when he is literally accused of, and there's evidence that he was trying to pick up a child. And he admitted that, How is he still practicing? Exactly. Like, it's ridiculous. I have no idea how somebody can still be practicing law after one, admitting to being attracted to children and being caught in the act of trying to kidnap. How does it drop down to enticement? Like, he obviously was trying to kidnap the child. Why don't these people get canceled? I have no idea. You know, I question the people who, what's qualified immunity? What does that have to do with anything in this case? And that's what I want to know, Carrie. How does qualified immunity apply to a man literally like enticing a minor, trying to kidnap them? The only reason why they're safe is because they went to the police. They need to check those boats, right? They need to get, I feel like his actions is enough probable cause to check his boats. Black people, well, we're not talking about black people. We're talking about predators. First of all, the children involved in this aren't even black children. So I don't know where you're getting race from. Like, some of y'all just come to black channels and assume that that's all we're on. We're talking about predators. I'm saying that's why he's still able to practice law. I'm not talking about morals. I'm just talking about policies and law. All right, let's look up, because I don't know that off the top of my head, but I don't know how that applies here. Qualified immunity is a legal doctrine that protects government officials. That has nothing to do with, he's not a government official, okay? He's a lawyer. He's practicing law. He's licensed by the state. So he's not a government official. Qualified immunity talks about government officials from civil liability when they perform their jobs. It's designed to balance the need to hold officials accountable with the need to protect them from frivolous lawsuits. That doesn't apply to this guy. All right, this doesn't apply to him because he doesn't work for the state because he practices law. So I think there's a misconception there with what that means. The thing is, he never committed a crime yet, so nothing will happen to him. Well, he did though, because he lied and said that the child was his, and he was trying to take the child with him. If it weren't for innocent bystanders, that child could have been kidnapped. I think it's subjective, but it shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that should be straightforward. I don't know. They said they get the higher charge, the police would need to witness him commit it. Like, what's the likelihood that they're gonna witness him committing that? Like, it's ridiculous. I agree that he committed a crime, but I just feel like when it comes to charging, they just don't be secure. And then they see somebody with money, they know the person can fight it. Yeah, he's a lawyer. He knows what lines not to cross. He knows. But let's get into this one. This is an eviction. I just felt like a little disgusted that he only spent a day in prison after literally admitting to being a predator. Yeah, and he's not a public official. Being a licensed lawyer, you're not necessarily working for the public. Now, if he was a prosecutor or somebody working in, like working for the state, defending the state's interests or whatever, that's different. That is a public official, but he's not a public official. He is literally an everyday person. He's not anybody special where the police have to grant him immunity automatically. I just think, again, with those setting those standards where they need to either witness it or get a warrant, how are they going to get a warrant? Maybe they could have sought one, but yeah, it's kind of sad that they can get around things. It seems like all you need is money and you can get around this stuff. They need to change that law ASAP. Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, the police aren't going to witness a child being abused. They're not going to. So why would you include that as a necessary for getting them a charge? Like, that's creepy as hell.
Champ McGraw, the senator inside. I knocked on the door. He came to the door. We opened it. He cracked it open. It says, and he said, "Wait a minute." Close the door.
Is that the landlord or something right there?
Yes. Yeah. And I told everybody to stand back because after the second time he closed the door and locked it, I knocked on it again. And he said, "1 minute." And then that was it.
Okay.
That's when I called you back.
Has he been living here for a while? Because I've never been to this residence for anything.
I believe so. We had a tour date.
The hell's going on with this society?
I have no idea.
Jesus. Is that his? Or?
Yeah, that's his car.
So has he been to court or?
Yes, he's been to court, and I served the notice. He knew that he had plenty of time to leave. I served on Sunday.
Okay.
Which was Thursday, last week Thursday?
Yeah.
And So he knew to leave, but let's try it again.
Okay. I'm about to say, you're busy today. I was like 2 in 1 day. People just aren't listening.
Right.
The bailiff prepares once again to rouse Chad McGraw from the house, this time with some assistance from Officer Schwett and Officer Lindsay. While there's nothing yet to suggest that there will be a conflict, it isn't long before the officers begin to have serious concerns about McGraw's behavior. And as we'll see, those concerns will turn out to be horribly justified.
I don't know if you got a weapon or not.
What's his name?
Mr. McGraw. Mr. McGraw!
Just leave when you get evicted. There's no point staying there fighting it.
Hello, it's McGraw.
It's crazy.
How old is this guy?
He looks like he's probably in his 70s.
Okay. Hey, he's at the top. Mr. McGraw, it's the Yucca Police. You need to open up now.
Give me 5 minutes.
No, you need to open now.
You need to open up now. 5 minutes. I'm putting things up.
No. Hey, you need to open the door now.
What's going on, Josh?
Or we're gonna 5 minutes is all I need.
No, Mr. McGraw, you need to open the door now. We're going to allow you to get your things.
I need 5 minutes.
You don't need 5.
You know what's sad? Like, he was renting this place. Like, he wasn't even... I'm not trying to downplay what he must have been going through. Like, he obviously must have been going through something. But, like, you're renting a place, bro. Why are you...
5 minutes. You need to open now, please.
2 minutes.
No, Mr. McGraw, you need to open now, please.
Right. For what?
Who are you?
If you could police, you just saw me through your window, bud.
Even when performing what might be considered a routine duty, there's always the chance that something could go drastically wrong. The closed door between police and McGraw means that anything could be happening inside the house, and Officer Schwett has second thoughts about remaining on the front porch.
Please open the door. We're going to allow you to grab your things before you leave.
I got you. I'm with you.
Okay, so please open the door.
We'll work things out with you. Please gotta open the door right now so we can talk this over.
At that point, like, you know it's over. Like, and it is sad that he's 70 years old getting evicted. You know, that's a really sad thing. Back in the day, back in the day, at least he would have had his own home, you know? But he's getting evicted from an apartment at 70 years old. I can't even imagine what that feels like. You know, to have worked your whole life. He says pay rent then. Don't be so cruel, you know, because you never know what people are going through. Life is really hard these days. And imagine being 70, you don't got nobody, you don't got a wife, you don't got kids. Let's say you don't have living family. Like, he must be really going through it, you know? That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to have some compassion for him.
Just watch the door. I'll watch this window.
Through the door, McGraw tells the officers that he's got something to finish before he can come out to talk.
You're writing something? No, open the door now.
Oh, hell no.
We will work something out with you, sir. If you please just open the door now. I'll allow you to write whatever you need to write. Just open the door now.
Yeah, they'll do it. Oh, you did the other one already? Mm-hmm. Like the movers, they'll drill the lock and then go in, but we're not kicking the door in. Oh, I know that. Yeah, no, they'll drill the lock. I just don't feel comfortable with this situation. That's all. No, it's not a good situation. What do you say?
You didn't say nothing. I mean, I got a locksmith or a guy that can drill the lock out.
I know,
if you want, but
it's a safety thing.
But he's writing a letter.
That's the concerning part.
Right. You think he might want to snuff himself out?
That was my first part.
With that implied threat now having been spoken aloud, Officer Schwett.
They said, don't you think he wants to snuff himself out? Like, I guess they're trying to assess the situation, but like, dude is not. I mean, he's being evicted. He's 70 years old. Beware of dog. It means he got a pet. I'm pretty sure he didn't want to face whatever the hell it was that he would have to face out there once he was evicted. He probably had nowhere to even go. You know, it's sort of sad. LCJC says over 80,000 homes sit vacant in the U.S. due to evictions. Nobody should be homeless or ever kicked out of their home. Yeah, you know, the thing that America has taught a lot of people though is that if you can't afford, doesn't matter how crazy things are becoming, if you can't afford things, then you don't deserve them. You know, which is so crazy considering that most people can't afford rent by themselves. You know, most people have to be married. I'm telling you, a lot of people get into relationships and get married and have kids with people just because that is the financial way to do. They don't have money to do it by themselves. They need a partner. It's safer that way. That's what some people are getting. Some people are getting in relationships just to get a mortgage or a rent. You know, I worked at a restaurant with this guy. I'm going to tell you guys his name because he's probably never going to find his video and he was just some corny white dude. But his name was Tyler. Dude would be flirting with every goddamn girl at work. Come to find out, he got a lady living with him. So one day, one of the co-workers was like, oh, so this lady living with you, like, are y'all together? Is she your woman? Like, you guys getting married? And he's like, oh, you know, we got the apartment together. We bought the house together, but we broke up. And so why are y'all still living together? Well, we got the mortgage together. Folks are in relationships to be able to pay bills. They're going from relationship to relationship trying to pay their bills. And it's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. Stop voting Democrat then. I didn't vote Democrat, and I do have a job, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry that your life is scheduled a certain way where you think because I'm home right now that I don't have anything, I don't have a job or something, but my lights are on, okay? You know, there's food here and things like that, so I don't think you got to worry about me. I was in a rescue mission for 2 years, but got out of that, and now I'm making $100K a year. Just got to keep on keeping on. You know, I understand where you're coming from, Josh. I think as somebody who obviously has overcome a lot, I think that it's important to encourage people to get up and get going, but look at the environment we're living in. A 70-year-old probably doesn't have the marketable skills if they haven't been building them since they were young to afford the current economy. Like, Cali is one of the most liberal places, and look at Skid Row. They actually made Skid Row illegal. So now where are these homeless people are supposed to go? They don't suddenly have money and houses. Where are they going to go now? You know what I'm saying? So I have compassion for people. I know that life is not as easy as we think it is. And even though you might have overcome, it doesn't mean everybody is in a position to overcome. Rent is only so expensive because of the vid. When people stopped paying rent, whoever was doing it made a lot of no, they've been doing that. Before the vid, people were struggling with rent. Before the vid, the average person couldn't just afford rent. So you know how many people I know who pay their rent and then they have no money for food, gas, other stuff and things like that. Like, this is not a realistic economy that we're living in. A lot of times people don't got it. A lot of people are struggling, robbing Peter to pay Paul, as they say, and it's only going to get harder. Yeah. Yep. Getting into a lot of debt. A first world country. Supposedly we're in a first world country. If you pay, you won't get evicted. It's pretty simple. Well, yeah, I totally understand that, but I'm telling you that some people are falling on hard times. 3 billion in the U.S., 1/3 are men. Why don't they kick those idiots out of the house that's white and take back what? What are you talking about, girl? It's unfortunate, but it's true. I see it all the time. I was not expecting her to go into like a fight the power rant. I'm missing a lot of comments here. Lights are on. Brittany's fade bills are paid. Food on table. Yeah, we have ish everywhere. Clock it. You are absolutely correct. It was all like this well before. Exactly. People are trying to act like the vid made it this way. No, niggas wasn't paying. Niggas couldn't afford their rent before the vid. The vid made it worse. Sure. But people couldn't afford their rent before the vid. So let's not make it just COVID. Too many people in the world, exactly why we're kind of past that. You know, we're at low birth rates at this point. It's that there's a commercial on the radio here in Canada that says skip Xmas or skip rent, you decide. Now that's wow. That is crazy that they would even make a commercial saying that. Let's continue this footage though.
It raises a question that could have a grave impact on the situation.
Does the landlord know if there's anything in here? No. Can you go ask him? Okay, just be advised, males refusing to open the door. Oh. What the was that? Is that a gunshot?
No.
Wow.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, here we go. Not gonna lie, that sounded like a muffled gunshot for a second. I was like,
If this call seemed typical when it began, McGraw's antics have elevated the potential threat. Officer Schwett flags down a neighbor to see if he can get a better picture of who it is they're dealing with.
Hey, sir. Yeah. Do you know your neighbor at all?
Very little. What's up?
No, we're just here for an eviction. He's refusing to open the door. I didn't know if you knew him, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to him several times, but...
Friendly guy?
Huh?
Friendly?
Yeah.
Older?
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yep. They have no idea if any weapons are.
He said the neighbor said he's like an older, friendly dude.
He just told me to hold on. He keeps saying that, though. You know?
The information from the neighbor is encouraging, but it's not much to go on. Officers must remain alert because as long as McGraw is hidden inside his house, there's still the potential for things to take a nasty turn. After waiting for more than 8 minutes, officers decide they've given him long enough.
Can you come to the door? We're going to open it, okay?
With a locksmith heading toward the house, the police give Chad McGraw one last chance. Officer Schwett approaches while Officer Lindsay crosses the door to stand on the other side.
Mr. McGraw, we need you to answer the door. We're coming in. No more minutes. Mr. McGraw, we're coming in if you do not open this door. Do you understand me?
Hit the like button.
No. We're not holding on anymore. You need to open the door, please.
Come to the door now.
What do you say?
No, Lana. I don't think he had anywhere to go, Lana. I don't think he had anywhere to go. That's the sad part. You know, like we're sitting here, we're watching them trying to force him out of this house, but I don't think he had anywhere to go. And that's why he was stalling out. Yes, he obviously had mental health issues, and we're going to see why. But I don't think he had anywhere to go.
I need you to come to the door and talk to me.
The locksmith enters the porch, unaware of the mortal danger lurking behind the door.
I'm trying to stand off to the side, too.
Did you get one? Damn. That was impressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have to use a drill. Oh, it took much longer. We got to get over a rift because...
Okay, how long has it been since you stayed rift?
I don't know.
The locksmith exits, but what the officers don't know is that McGraw has been waiting for this exact moment.
Just open and let it breathe. Yep. Mr. McGraw! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Lindsay, get the out of there! Inside the house. Lindsay, stuck in the... Lindsay, can you get out?
No.
Lindsay, come on that Lindsay! Hold on! Lindsay, hold on!
And let me just say, I'm this cop. Can you get... No, I'm not running in front of no door that's wielding bullets. I'm not running in front of no nan door that is wielding bullets. You're not going to get me to run past that door. So I don't blame him for staying there. You never know. He said, hell no. He's about to say hell no a few more times.
Radio, we got an officer stuck. Officer Lindsay is stuck in the house. I do not have eyes on the male. He's somewhere in the house shooting at us.
As the officers struggle to nab the shooter, he starts blasting FJB Nobody Likes You on his speakers.
Lindsay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I cannot get out. 4-3, I can hear you.
Where are you?
I'm still on the porch.
Okay, listen. I'm going to lay down fire and then you run the out.
Negative.
With Officer Lindsay in an inescapable trap, backup begins to arrive on the scene. They're heading into a treacherous situation, but have no idea of what horrors truly await them at the home of Chad McGraw.
We got it on this thing. All right, what we got? All right, I'm moving up. Let's go. All right, 6.
Front porch right here. So we got one with the front door open.
No, he put
We're moving up to the van.
All right, go.
Buddy at the station, bring a few of those rifles from the armory ASAP.
Bring all of them.
A massive police response is gathering on the street, but every second is an eternity for Officer Lindsay.
And in the porch, the only way out is crossing the front door and saying that door.
There's no way.
If you didn't see the beginning of the video, the guy with the blue jacket who was there, he was the landlord person trying to get him out of the apartment. He had been there by himself prior, and the guy wasn't coming out, so he called the police. And he was right to call the police. He was right to call the police because the guy started letting his blicky go while they were in front of the door.
For Officer Lindsay to escape, and there's no way for officers to rescue him without putting themselves in the line of fire. As perilous as this situation is for the police, they aren't the only ones affected by the sudden outburst of violence on that November day. In an exclusive interview with EWU, Euclid resident Jenna Catrone says she was driving by the house when the bullets started flying.
I see this police car coming towards me with their lights on, and I kind of out of the corner of my eye, I'm driving down the road and I see, police in a driveway. I'm not, whatever, not thinking twice about it. And all of a sudden I just hear a menagerie of gunshots. And instead of probably hitting the gas, I slam on my brakes. I mean, I stalled out and hit the ground. Like I went down because I was pretty sure that those shots are coming right at my car. And I stalled out directly just past the house. We're thinking they're hit, I'm hit, somebody has to be hit because they were just zooming right past us.
Oh, maybe it is a family home. I thought that was an apartment building. I couldn't be either because at least 1 month a year rent would be free, December, and probably even more if they have kids. Even if I'm a landlord, I would still have a job to make sure bills are paid. The problem is these landlords don't want to work. They want your rent to be the way they pay their bills. Right? They will have a three apartment building with a mortgage that's like $1,500 a month, and they'll charge all three of y'all $1,500 a month, and they don't have to work. Knowing damn well them apartments ain't been updated in the whole decade. They ain't worth more than a couple $100, but they're gonna charge you each $1,500 a month, knowing their whole mortgage for that building is $1,500. That's what a lot of them do. That's what they did start doing. That's why when COVID did start, right, the vid, let me not get too much into it. When the vid started, right, and people stopped paying their rent, all those piles and piles of ridiculous rent that these slumlords are charging, they pile up because people aren't working. A lot of people are still waiting for their unemployment. Remember, the world is shut down. So outside of essential workers, nobody's working. No one's kids are going to school. None of that. It wasn't until then that it piled up, but that ridiculous rent existed before this situation started. Right? The pile up wouldn't be so bad if this didn't start before this whole shenanigan. Because it really wasn't a huge amount of time before people started going back to work. The problem was people couldn't afford their rent. Some people waited a long time for unemployment because of all the scamming and all of that. And so it ended up being piles and piles of money that people owed. Hey, Miss Chakra Love. She says, good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. It's all about money. Worst part is they'll say it's updated, but all that's updated is cheap floor tiles. Yep. That's all it'll be. It'll be some cheap floor tiles that you can kick off with your own feet. That's what they'll update the apartment and charge an extra $600 for.
The bullets, and that's the first thing you do. You just go down, and that's what I did. I slammed my glasses into my shifter, and yeah, because I had my seatbelt on, just the way I went down, I fractured 2 ribs. It was interesting.
At this point, police have no way of knowing if McGraw was taking aim at passing.
And I said in the beginning of the video, which I'm not sure if you heard, but I said, you're getting evicted, just leave. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't understand this man's struggle. Good morning, Arthur Monk. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't understand his struggle. I absolutely understand his struggle. Right? I get it. 70 years old being evicted must be humiliating. It must be devastating. Again, a lot of us guess he probably didn't have nowhere to go. Right? This is a neighbor describing what she saw happening that day. Bullets just rang out. She had no idea what was going on. She thought she was getting hit.
Drivers like Jenna. Indeed, they know very little at all about the man inside the house. Who was Chad McGraw before police knocked on his door that fateful day? In this car dealership commercial, McGraw introduces himself and explains his position at the company.
My name is Chad McGraw, here at Beechwood Infinity, sales and leasing consultant.
From the outside, McGraw seems to have a thriving career in the car business, and we don't need to go all the way back to 2017 to find evidence of that. On his own YouTube channel, McGraw has uploaded nearly 400 slideshows congratulating his car buying customers. The latest one, seen here, was uploaded only 3 short days before the shooting. According to McGraw's LinkedIn page, he's worked for Cleveland dealership Central Cadillac LLC since 2007, and that isn't his only professional endeavor. In 2013, he's featured in a local news profile to promote his hot dog restaurant. How does such a man find himself shooting at police officers? Can external appearances be that misleading? As important as these questions may be, the present moment is all that matters to officers on the scene.
I knew this was bad. He kept telling us to wait.
This is especially true for Officer Lindsay, whose entrapment on the porch culminates in one of the most intense moments of the afternoon.
He shot at us through the door in the living room we're pointing at. These 2 front windows in the front of the living room. I shot through. I don't know if I hit him or not. We need to get Lindsay the out there. On your stick. Hey, you have a shield. Do you want to move up and grab him? Lindsay is in this corner. Lindsay is in this corner right here.
Okay. Well, we're really set up right here to get shot in the face. So I say we grab him and get out. What do you think?
Could you tell it was rifle or handgun? It's that big hole right there, dude.
You know, Lana, I guess you never really know. You never really know what's going on. You never really know what somebody's doing with their money. Maybe he racked up a lot of debt. You just never know. Yo, Jake Whitehead, go kiss a donkey's ass. Like, some of y'all just come here angry at your life, angry at your face when you look in the mirror, talking nonsense. It's clearly a reaction video. It says review show. You know what it is. Don't come here looking for attention, sir. Have a seat and shut up. Like, so weird. No holier than thou. I pay my bills. Most can't afford food. Right. Like I said, I know people sacrificing food to pay certain bills because they don't want to worry about losing the roof over their head. I know people like that. They will come. I'll hang out with them. And then people want to be acting crazy like, oh, I can't believe you share a house with somebody or you splitting bills with. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm splitting bills. Like, what? You don't know how much it costs to live on the East Coast? They're selling houses over here that are in poor, run-down ghetto neighborhoods in my state for $400,000 for the house. Ghetto. I'm talking trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking. This is the type of city near me, right? Good enough that it's far away, near me, that they're selling houses for $400,000. $500,000. It's ridiculous what's going on right now. It's ridiculous. If the landlords could just go do all of this, what is the point in having a government? Connecticut ain't shit either. I'm sorry, Terrence. Connecticut ain't shit either. And hundreds of millions on imagination stealing from, okay. What did he say? What did who say? I don't know if y'all saw, he just let out a bunch of bullets on these people, and one of the officers is stuck there. So he's stuck there because he's not about to cross. He don't know if the guy's going to let out some more bullets, so he don't want to move. Let's continue.
I don't know. We just got blasted with and we backed the up and he got down. I don't know if I'm hit. I don't think so. Hit all over me. I didn't check you, okay? Yeah. I don't feel like I'm bleeding or anything.
Oh, me too.
As bad as the situation is, the officers get information that could turn it all.
No way, you're from Little Rhodey. Me too. Rent is ridiculous. Rent is ridiculous out here. And there's, like I said, there's cities by me that are straight up drug trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking. $400,000 per house, $500,000 per house in the hood. The houses in my city now are going for close to $1 million. This is not $1 million city. This is not $1 million. I promise you, this is not $1 million town, I should say. Houses are going for $1 million. We'll just take Canada eventually. We don't need nobody else. We can barely handle what we got going on. With what we got going on, we can barely handle everyone else. Gary, you're in Providence? All right. Shout out to Rhode Island in the building. Shout out to Rhode Island in the building, okay? We're doing it tonight. I never knew. We're about to become the 51 state. No, we're not taking on Canada. I'm sorry. That's not happening.
Ready perilous scene into something much worse.
Did they say grenades came in this house? Yeah. This guy sounds like he doesn't have any CCH, pretty much. Or is he a veteran? We don't really have history from him, but I just heard Sergeant Nathan say something about grenades and explosives and multiple firearms.
The idea that McGraw is holed up in his home with explosives adds a layer of immeasurable threat, not only to the responding officers, but anyone in the immediate vicinity. Knowing that another round of violence could erupt at any moment, an officer attempts to evacuate McGraw's next-door neighbor.
Hello. The person next to us just shot at us a bunch.
Oh my God.
We'd like to get you out of the house. Do you mind coming over here, getting into your car and getting ready to go?
Yeah.
Take a few minutes. Yep.
As Officer Gilmer tries to get the woman and her children to safety, more information comes over the radio about the suspect.
Confirmed Chad McGraw, 41471, 51-year-old male, 5'10", 200 pounds. He is a black male, and he was a victim today.
Yeah, we know that one. Was that him? He's talking about the radio?
Yeah.
Okay. Black male?
Yeah, I thought our department doesn't have any issue with him.
I thought he was in like his
other than a single arrest for a dog bite in August of 2022.
There's no criminal history that would foreshadow the day's events, but McGraw did have a couple of minor run-ins with the law the previous year. Both of them concerned his bulldog Max attacking postal workers in the yard. In the second incident, McGraw told officers that he needed a protective dog like Max because of, quote, the violence that regularly occurs in Euclid. It is, of course, McGraw's violence that has caused the chaos on this November day.
Not trying to rush you, but we gotta go now.
We're going right now. All right, Kai, let's go.
Come on.
Come on, Kai, we gotta go.
Come on, Kai.
Sorry.
Lana,
can you say hi?
Hi. With them shooting at him?
Lana, I wanted to move to Texas when that rent was $700. Now them folks driving that rent up to $1,000. I was looking at, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at 1 bedrooms in, I forget if it was like Alexis City or something like that. I was looking at San Antonio. I was looking at $700 to $800 apartments in those cities. Now it's not the same. It's not. There's no point from the East Coast moving to Texas now because everybody's moving to Texas. I don't even know what the new destination is. What's the new cheap place for us to move to? Ain't nobody want to go to the Midwest. That's why the Midwest, the rent is going to stay low. Nobody wants to be in the Midwest. Where are people going to immigrate to now, or migrate to, I should say, because we're staying in the U.S. Where are we going to migrate to for cheaper rent? It seems like there's nowhere to go. They're gentrifying the entire country. No, obviously nobody wants to go to the Midwest. Or nobody. Nobody wants to go to the Midwest. The South is becoming overpopulated too. I saw what happened in Texas when it snowed. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't, even though I like Texas, when it snowed that little bit, I want nothing to do with that. Where would this man have even gone today?
Us already?
Yeah, I didn't.
We don't want a bullet to come through your house.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, he shot a bunch.
Officer Gilmer tries to get the neighbors out of harm's way, even as swarms of law enforcement officials descend on the street.
Drive right through the yard around that police car. Go through their front yard. I don't care what they say. Go through their front yard. Hurry up. I'm in the middle of the open. Don't hit our car.
Hey, watch it. Watch it. She's gonna hit my car.
Hey, you're going to pull forward?
Dude, she's gonna hit my car.
Don't hit the car.
Okay, hey. Okay, come back. You're good.
Police are still getting information over the radio, and the news gets worse by the moment.
Apparently, there's also an adult son who is believed to be residing there. They have multiple firearms and possibly explosives, such as grenades.
I asked if there was any firearms in this house, and I was told no. That would have changed everything.
As far as the police response goes, it already has changed everything. Multiple agencies arrive at the scene, including the Lake County Sheriff's Office, the Wycliffe Police Department, and the regional SWAT team.
Any occupants from 781 East 250, this is the police department. Come outside with your hands up. Any occupants from site 781 East 250, this is the police department.
I was right there. I did have to pull over, but I'm watching. I've never seen anything like it. I felt like I was in downtown LA when you see those videos with the helicopters and the SWAT team. And I'm just like sitting there, and it was like being in a movie.
The emergency is such that off-duty cops leave their second jobs to respond to the crisis.
I'm going to get fired from Amazon for the way I drove out of the parking lot, probably. Hey.
The various police agencies bring with them heavy artillery and armored vehicles.
You know what's funny? That's the same one I drove in Iraq.
Yep, you need a roommate.
I'm just having a glorious. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't die in it, so that was good.
In addition to guns and reinforced vehicles, the police have access to technology that will allow them to get a peek inside McGraw's home. And moments from now, we'll see the unsettling footage captured by the drones. First, however, the dramatic fate of Officer Lindsay will finally be revealed.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. How's your shield work? You just how's your shield work?
That officer's still there. I've been pausing a lot. This is my last video. But that officer is still there, perched in the porch, because he doesn't want to walk by that door and possibly have bullets ring out. So now they're sending the drone in.
I got you.
Did that though.
Okay, we're gonna pull him out. Okay, hey, hold on. Wait, hold on. We gotta let 20 know. 20, we're coming.
Whoever's moving up to me, come up by this pine tree. The shots look like they're going at an angle out that front porch door.
All right, I'm gonna just hold the shield. You work that rifle. We're gonna move nice. Ready? Go. My gun is hot. Step. Doors left. Lindsay, go. Go. Pull it out. Right. Everybody back out to the street. Hey, let's get out of here. Go. Come on. Go. Behind the shield.
So if you notice, when they went and got him, nothing happened.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Damn, that sucks. That was his. It looks like it was a house, so it wasn't an apartment like I had originally thought. That's sad. 70 losing his house. He's obviously a car salesman. You know, at that point, I think he was just. In 1858, Corrington event destroyed so much and it's coming again. Oh, by the way, they added 1,000 years to our timeline. Start searching mud floods, Tartaria, free energy. Oof. Those of you guys who get all this information, like, where do y'all even find this information? That's what I want to know.
Coming up. Watch that curb. Guys, get on me. Okay, good job. Lindsay, you okay? I'm good. Thank you both. That's what we're here for.
The rescue of Officer Lindsay is a death-defying success, but the police are acutely aware that things could have gone much worse. McGraw didn't fire upon them as they extracted Lindsay, and now it's up to the drone to find out what is actually going on inside the house.
Can you keep that door off? The door's partially open. Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
Was that blood? No, I think that's that. The holes in the wall and wallpaper. That might be. I was on the floor. Yeah. I gotta stop recording. I gotta switch to.
You know those TikTok.
Just crashed.
The first drone fails to get through the doorway, but not before the operator notices some alarming visuals on the screen. The question is whether he really saw blood inside or just debris from the barrage of gunfire. It'll take a second drone to find the answers. Here's the actual camera footage from the drone they sent inside the house.
Is that glass or blood? That's glass. Alright, so I want to watching over your shoulder here, best I can. Oh, there's bullet holes in the.
Unfortunately. He wasn't in the least bit moved out. Like it don't even look like he was ready to move out. It doesn't even look like anything was moved. You know, the first time I watched this, I didn't cue. It didn't click to me that he didn't set. Like he wasn't trying to move nothing. Like couches in place, posters and things are still on the wall. Like this dude wasn't gonna leave his house. It's so sad, but he wasn't gonna leave his house. I was just reading your comment, LCJC. What are you talking about? You know, it's just tragic. You know, a lot of this is just tragedy at the end of the day. But he wasn't intending to go nowhere. Look at this house. Everything is still in place. He hadn't moved a goddamn thing. He got a picture out there of I don't know who. He wasn't going nowhere. It's so sad. He wasn't going. He wasn't nowhere. He wasn't going nowhere.
We have a subject down in the kitchen in a pool of blood.
With the help of their technology, the officers know that Chad McGraw is no longer the threat he was when they arrived. Still, there are rumors of explosives and an adult son who could be inside the house. And even though McGraw himself appears to be deceased, they can't be sure the danger has truly passed.
There could be one other person in the house.
So I wonder, does that mean he was shot when he might have got shot with when he initially started pew-pewing at them and they were scared, like they started running. He might have got shot right at that time. Because I don't know if they heard. Whew. Sorry, guys. It's very early. I'm not sure if they heard any more, like, pew-pews. I'm sure you're coming from a good place, but there's no need for fear-mongering. I'm not fear-mongering anybody. You know? I'm not fear-mongering. I don't know if people in the chat are trying to fear-monger, but I do think it's important for us to be real about what's going on. I do think to some degree, like, obviously the landscape, the economy and everything is going, we're going to see more extremities, like we're going to see more people being really extreme like this because we're losing everything right in front of our eyes. So I knew he was going to do that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely a lot of love, especially because you look in his apartment and nothing was out of place. That didn't look like the house of somebody who knew they were being evicted today. You know, if he had any intentions of leaving, he probably would have had some stuff packed up, some clothes or things put away, but nothing was put away. So I'm inclined to think that he didn't have anywhere to go, and he was likely planning to pass away in his home, which is so unfortunate. And a lot of times that's why they will shoot at the police, you know, because they want to force action, which is really sad. So anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this body cam footage. I know a lot of it is really shocking material, but like I said, we need to know what's going on, right? The transparency is needed. And now that we have the transparency, right, now that body cam footage is so accessible that today we saw body cam footage from November 11th, then, you know, I do think that we need to, can you guys not write words like that in the chat, please? Somebody delete that. Sorry, we can't have those particular words in the chat. They do send to the chat, and especially if certain words are used, the chat won't be played back. So, yeah. Gore says, great stream, Flora, like the early format. Oh, thank you so much. I figured people will be awake. You know, I did one in the evening yesterday, and it just seemed to like not go that well. Like nobody was really around, and I was having a lot of technical difficulties. So hopefully I found a new formula, doing a little bit early while I can, you know, obviously until I go back to full time and all of that. So love you. Have a wonderful day and night. You too, Mama First. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming to my channel. I appreciate you. Flip said, nice meeting you. Good content. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to try and find the most interesting body cam footage for us to look at when I do these body cam shows. I do want to start doing some other topics. I don't know how y'all are going to feel about that, right? Because I know the videos, we love the videos. The videos keep us so attentive. But I'm thinking about doing some some more type of content, maybe doing some shows, maybe having some conversations with people. So make sure you guys check me out. Also, keep an eye out on my wall. I am going to try to put together something so that we can try to affect Mr. John Randolph's business. He shouldn't be running a business after admitting to being attracted to children. Like, it's a scary thing. So hopefully you guys hit the like on your way out. To my Rhode Island people, make sure you guys enjoy the day. It's going to be cold, okay? Thank you for finding my channel today. The rest of you all, enjoy your day. Stay warm if it's cold where you are. If not, enjoy the sun, because I definitely can't. All right? And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right? Thanks for the video. Thank you so much, LCJC. You guys are over here squabbling in the chat. Rick Ross was in a high-speed chase by Homeland Security in DC. Did he snitch? Y'all just say anything. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys have a good rest of your day, okay? Bye-bye, loves. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Have a beautiful day.